Hello, everyone. What's going on? My name is Timpedia. Welcome back. The TNT
You want to just
podcast.
run that back from the beginning, or
nope. It's more fun to
We
have
ain't running shit back. We're doing it live as always.
We're here with the TNT podcast episode. See, I screwed it up again. Whoops. Whatever. Not worth running it back.
Yeah,
but
you pronounced 191 very strangely there, Tim.
But we're here. We're back. We're ready to go, and we're finally recording again. It's been a hot minute. But who's here to record? On my right.
That's Friedman, also known as Andrew, but mostly known as Friedman.
And on my left.
The Master Chief.
Mind telling me what you're doing on that ship?
Finishing this Rangoon.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my God.
I
have a very topical nickname for this
Rangoon
week.
Today.
Oh, that stuff's so good.
Well, you know what's not topical?
Busting what?
The game series Halo has not been topical in a hot minute.
Yeah, I know, right? It's pretty nuts. They're trying really hard. 343.
They're trying really hard. So it's not 343 as
our
news
true.
story
It's not
discusses.
343.
So
it is now.
Halo 3 has been rebranded to Halo Studios, which gotta say, pointless. I think it was actually a great nod to like. On the literal barest level, calling it 343 Industries to an actual reference to Halo and be like, guys, this is the Halo studio.
But, like, here's the thing. This studio exists for one reason and one reason only, and they just don't want to be associated with 343 anymore because it's just that was the bad era of Halo. So it's like, well, what do we call the Halo studio?
Well, so let's also say, why is this a new era? Well, apparently Halo has given up on whatever engine they were using, proprietary engine, I guess.
Some kind of weird Havoc engine or something like that.
Switching to Unreal 5, and there are multiple projects in development.
Will we care? No. Have you guys gotten that Halo Infinite Let's Play from us?
I was literally just gonna say thank you for beating me to it, Tyler. We still haven't even bothered to play Infinite because
it's all your fault. I blame you.
What the fuck? It was so nice and peaceful, and then you're just like
throwing into accusations of not being a gamer all of a sudden.
Swinging tonight, yeah.
Whatever, man.
Fuck you.
Wow, coming in with the hostility. Jeez.
Yeah.
I didn't even do. I'm not the one who said Halo sucks now. Okay, Tyler. Okay, Halo.
Whoa.
343 Industries.
I'm the one who's saying Halo sucks now.
No, I was saying 343 is the one who decided Halo sucks now by making some pretty mediocre Halo games. Tyler, could you I know this is always the thought experiment, but could you imagine if we could go back in time and tell ourselves right after Halo 3 came out, guys, it's only gonna get worse. That would be heartbreaking.
What do you mean? I told myself after I beat. I don't even think I talked about it. Did I talk about it last time? I'm forgetting. Was it Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? More like Final Fantasy VII Afterbirth.
Yeah. Well,
if I told young Tyler.
Joke later.
Huh?
Well, you can get to that joke during your section later. We get to talk about the Afterbirth.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll have a mini. Oh, that's right. I was supposed to talk about that.
Yeah, it's been a month since we recorded.
That's true. Yeah. But I told myself, it's like going back in time. It's like, hey Tyler, did you know the next best Gears of War game is gonna be a Warhammer 40K game? And also, did you know that these Halo games are just gonna be shit? Or you know that Final Fantasy game that you wanted, that you saw the tech demo for? What if I told you you're gonna hate that game? And I would cry.
Man, Tyler's
high school Tyler
how can I
would literally
run hurting myself? I'll go back in time and tell them myself the bad news all at once.
Dude, you know what? It would make me a better man. It would make me tough as nails.
Tough as
nails. If anything. Salty spittoon level,
salty
tough.
Spittoon.
Goddamn.
Oh man.
Eating a bowl of nails without any milk type shit.
Right this way, sir.
It's just so disappointing.
Isn't it? But is it? I don't think. Honestly, it's not to get to the crux of this whole thing. I don't. It's not going to convince me to do anything. It's not going to make me look at them any different.
Nope.
They're still the fuck ups to me.
I'll play the devil's advocate here and say that I went through the phase of loving Square Enix games and watching them fuck around with the Crystal engine for 6, 7 years unable to put out games because of the monstrosity of managing their own engine and trying to update it, that when they finally switched over to Unreal, the pace at which they could develop games finally got a little bit better.
Freeman,
Not that much better.
Saying that anyone that's a AAA studio develops games in a reasonable time. You know one of my podcasts pointed out to me, I never played Final Fantasy growing up, but we got like Final Fantasy, what was it, like 3 through 13 in the same amount of time of 13 to 15?
Now, hold on. 13.3 and 13.2 were full-fledged Final Fantasy games that totally weren't asset flips.
That were totally terrible. But either way, it doesn't matter. I'm saying, like, the rate at which we got good video games was so much faster back in the AAA, quote-unquote. Let's not even say good. Let's just say AAA, quote-unquote, games was so much faster.
Yeah.
And these days, it's like, what comes out? Like, how often do we get a big AAA release?
Here's the thing, though. If I asked a company to start releasing, like, quite literally PS2 quality video games, I bet you they could do it in the old pace.
Sure.
Wait, what?
But no one bothers.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, the scale of games has gotten too big, and that's why they're taking too long. But if you wanted to go back and make literal PS2 quality video games...
Dude, Freeman, not for nothing, not to jump ahead to the very end, you finally played Titanfall 2. If you just made that as a single-player game, you could have sold that back in the day.
Yes.
That should not have taken that long to develop. That's the
hold on. How long did it take to develop?
I think from Titanfall 1 to 2 was maybe 2 years? Maybe?
That's a reasonable development time frame.
Yes, it sure is, isn't it?
Oh, I thought you were using an example of a bad example.
Tyler, how long was Halo 1 to Halo 2? A year? 2 years?
No. 3 years.
Was it 3? Was it 2? It wasn't 3 from 2 to 3 though.
Titanfall 2 came out 2 years after the first one.
Oh, was it 2 years?
Yeah, and then 3 years for Apex Legends.
Man, could someone just make a big shooter that isn't a fucking Fortnite clone, please? It's not just Call of Duty.
We got Counter-Strike 2. That came out like
Freeman, shut
2 years ago.
No, it didn't. All right, let's move on. Halo, who cares? Oh boy, talk about floppity flop flops. Wow.
Oh man, I was almost gonna watch this in theaters.
Holy shit! I know someone I think is watching it tonight.
I was not gonna watch it in theater. I knew there was gonna be some fuck shit with this.
Well, it's just for context.
I never watched the first one, but Joker.
Yeah, Joker 2. Did you guys watch the first one in theaters?
Yes, I did.
I did too, and I love this movie.
Never watched the first one ever. Because I truly don't give a shit about the Joker. So you should. Nope. No, not as a superhero movie. Like, you should watch this movie. It's just a good movie. And it honestly, there's so many movies where I'm just like, how could you come up with a reasonable story for how one of these like comic book level villains exists? And Joker was the explanation of how could, in theory, a semi-realistic version of the Joker come into existence. And the way they played it was pretty good. That said, apparently they just undid a lot of character progression going into Joker 2.
I believe it.
I don't know. I was hoping it'd be more grounded like Joker 1 and just have the musical bits, but apparently it's just like, I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I can't comment firsthand, but it's disappointing. Although the memes about how much money they're losing have been fire. I'll give it that.
Good. I'm glad they're losing money. They need to not... Oh, jeez. Shit, there's a moth that just flew into me, and I was like, what the fuck?
Flashbacks to that time. Well, it wasn't a possum that was in your room. What was it?
It was a possum that was in my room.
Yeah, that was the early days of the podcast.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Jesus Christ. Had to hunt that possum.
Anyway, yeah, these studios are trying to play it way too safe, only putting out sequels and just resting on their laurels. And they've got to, this has to be a sign that that shouldn't work anymore. Like,
I've said this 100 times. DC only has Batman now. You can't tell me different.
Who's trying to tell you different?
They don't have shit.
You're right.
Again, who's trying to tell you different? Like,
what show did they just release on fucking HBO?
Penguin.
Fucking Penguin. Yeah, like no one gives a shit. Well,
I thought you were making a joke about Suicide Squad Isekai. which also a good example.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta say, maybe it's just Marvel fucking up and burning me out. But like, and Freeman, we didn't add to the docket, but Magic released the secret layers for the first round of Marvel products.
Yeah.
Man, I just don't fucking care.
I kind of do, only because Captain America looks like a fun commander. But other than that, I don't give a shit.
I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm not turning into one of those like Universes Beyond haters, but like, I have no interest in running those cards whatsoever.
But hold up, it's not that you're a hater. You can like something and just not like love and be obsessed with it 100%.
No, but like I just don't even like the Marvel stuff anymore. Like, and I'm gonna bring it up now because of DC. Like, I didn't give a shit about the Joker movie, partially because I don't really care about the Joker as a character anymore.
I mean, also Tim just hates fun things, but you know.
Look, I'll put it this way: I straight up don't give a shit about DC. I saw Joker because I heard it was a good movie, and it was a good movie,
which is fine. But it like I didn't choose to take the time out of my life to go watch it, which is fine. I've heard that it's good, but also it makes me even less invested when the second one is such a garbage fire. Apparently, what was it? It fell like it barely made more than a couple mil on the first weekend, and then it fell by like 70% on the second weekend and was getting beat out by like the 6th week of Beetlejuice or something.
I remember when the memes were peaking, it looked like it was going to top out at making 200 million on a budget of 400 million or something like that.
You know, it's funny because we were talking about video games a second ago with Halo, but like movies and video games, they need to chill. Like, we have to be hitting some kind of ceiling with budgets, right?
It's just shy of 200 million worldwide right now, and that's presently.
Like, that's fucking biz worldwide. And what was it? The budget of the movie was 400, or the budget was 200, and then you just double that for marketing because that's the world we live in, I guess.
I don't know. I'm getting all of my news from memes, so I really don't know how accurate these are.
I'm getting all my news from memes.
Either way,
the reported budget was 200 million, so they actually spent.
So they spent 400
million.
I hate that doubling thing. I hate the doubling thing for marketing. Like, it kind of blows my mind that we're allowed to just like a movie studio is allowed to spend $200 million to make a movie, but then they go, marketing is just going to be dollar for dollar the same thing.
So I'm going to get political here for a second. My cousin works for the Congressional Budget Office. So his role is every time a bill is going to get voted on, they have to do the budget of like, what is the financial impact on the U.S. budget? So one of the things that comes up a lot is that currently, because they don't prosecute a lot of people for tax crimes, every dollar spent on the IRS's budget makes like double what you put in or some nonsense. When it comes to marketing, for the first X amount of dollars, every dollar you put into marketing doubles what you could make on that. Yeah. And I don't know where they're getting the number of like, once we pass 200 million, then there's the cutoff and we should stop doing it.
I'm sure that's part of it, but like, man,
because marketing, like honestly, marketing will typically, like if you have a really good marketing campaign, like that will carry your whole thing. Like imagine, right? Like,
but I don't disagree with you, but it's wild because like Joker was marketed like crazy, but everyone heard just enough and saw just enough from the marketing and from interviews and stuff that they knew that this was gonna suck, and they like it boggles my mind how sometimes everyone is just an idiot and just rides along with marketing. Which is fine. I guess idiot's the wrong word, but like everyone just kind of goes, wow, this looks cool. It's going to be cool. But then in this case, like Joker was marketed like crazy. I saw tons of ads for it, but it just kind of, the collective knowledge somehow was that this is going to be awful.
I'm going to put it this way. The fact that we knew it was a musical going in was already a bad indication. Like, I'll put it this way. The only reason I even went to go see Wonka is that I didn't know it was a musical. The average person doesn't want to go see musicals and will actively avoid them. So to embrace it, embrace it for what it is tricky.
Like who's actually, like, of most Batman fans, who's gonna watch a musical, especially after the first movie?
Yeah, but how different it would be from that.
All I know is that joke's on them.
All right, let's move on.
The unanimous shut the fuck up. Hey, speaking of things that are terrible money decisions, wow. Ubisoft, what is it? Tencent and one of the founders is thinking about selling Ubisoft, controlling stake or whatever, big shock and what came out after I added this to the show notes was they just announced that all Assassin's Creed Shadows preview events are being.
Oh, we just lost Tyler.
I know. I was just gonna power through. I'm sure.
All right, keep going.
All Assassin's Creed Shadow previews have been canceled. And they just disbanded the team that made the moderately successful Prince of Persia side-scroller revival, which was like
when did that come out?
A couple months ago.
Oh, that's
it's the same team that made Rayman Legends. Makes a lot of the very artistic games. Sorry.
Yeah, just checking Tyler's status. His internet might be out. I don't know.
We'll keep going, and then if we get
back, if we want to, we can cut away to a section that Tyler hates and get back to the news afterwards.
Well, no, I think this is more just like the same conversation of like, I think the Ubisoft bubble has to be bursting because, you know, as much as some people are still in Assassin's Creed, like they put so much into that series for so long, and how many, like, again, it's another case of everyone says that, like, kind of since the end of Ezio's trilogy, like, some people have stuck on for a while, but, like, it got away from being the same game because there was nothing else there. They mined it as hard as they could, and they started trying new stuff, and people went, no, I'm not really digging this. Like, yeah,
I mean, I'll put it this way. Regrettably, I've never played an Assassin's Creed game. I wanted to during the early years, but then when it started getting to, like, Call of Duty, it was like, there is a release every year. It started being like, well, I guess I don't really need to play it, because whenever I do want to play it, I'll just jump in at the newest one, because it should, in theory, be the best one they released. And I learned very quickly that I should just suck it up and go back to playing PS3 era games and just play the originals.
It's funny because, like, Assassin's Creed 1 is weaker than 2, 3, or than 2, and then 2A and 2B, I guess is the best way to put it. But I still love that trilogy. If I had infinite time, I would probably want to go back and play those games again. I think it would be cool if they, like, did a re-release of those first few games, because there are technical issues with those first, especially the very first Assassin's Creed game, like, feels shitty to play these days. I kind of wish they would, like, take some of the updated mechanics of the traversal that they came out with later, where it feels smoother and smoother as they went on. Like, in the
keep
first
the core
game, it's
story
very much
gameplay
like,
feel the same, but, like, bring the modern creature comforts.
Like we were talking. I don't remember if it was on the podcast last time, but we were talking. Remember, I've been talking recently about remakes versus remasters.
Yeah.
I think Assassin's Creed 1 through the Ezio trilogy would be perfect for a remaster where you just tweak the mechanics to feel smoother and feel more modern and better, tweak the graphics. You don't really need to change much, though. Like, Assassin's Creed 1, yes, everyone memes on, like, the trailing missions and shit like that, but that was where it started. Like, I don't think it's bad to say, hey, it wasn't so horrible. Like, we all loved it enough for the series to become what it is. So, I think it would be fine to leave some of that jank in. Like, I don't think that's the end of the world to leave some of that in the game and just make the actual, like, traversal smoother. I don't think there's anything wrong with tweaking. And the Ezio trilogy, I mean, is the reason Assassin's Creed lasted is the Ezio trilogy.
Yeah.
2, Brotherhood and Revelations, are the reason that Assassin's Creed made it so far. Like, and Black Flag, I guess.
Yeah, Black Flag was the one that my brother was, like, obsessed with.
Because sailing. And then for years, everyone was like, where's the sailing game? And then they just never did anything good. Oh, no, they made, what was it, Sea of Thieves or whatever?
Yeah, because that was like the sailing part.
That turned out to be shitty.
I mean, I watched a lot of streams of it because it was a really fun platform for goofy stuff, but I'm still with the idea of owning a boat.
Games that you're never actually going to want to play.
Actually, yes. I don't know. Just like quick tangent about sailing in video games. So back in the day when Guild Wars 2 was like kind of shit after its first expansion, I had jumped into playing another MMO with my friends from Guild Wars 2. It was called Arcade, and I think I talked about it during the last episode because they're like they're redoing Arcade for PS5 or some shit. Regardless, the whole appeal of that game was the way to make money was by like transporting goods across continents. So transportation was big, and if you had like a big boat, you were golden. So there was this whole boat thing about this MMO, and I was enamored with it. But it was way too grindy. You had to legitimately grind that game every day for 6 months to get like your first big boat, unless you're part of a guild. So I didn't play it that much. But kind of makes me want to play Assassin's Creed Black Flag just to get that boat.
Tyler, you mostly just missed us talking about the Ubisoft investors jumping ship and how Assassin's Creed a remake of the first 4 games would be fun. A remaster.
Maybe. Do I feel that way? I don't know if I feel that way.
So,
Really?
to repeat what we're talking about, it's purely just like a bring it up to modern standards,
Yeah,
not
I
really
just wanted
change
to
that
like
much about it.
graphical, tweak the feel of like the traversal so that it's not as rough, and then just re-release those 4 games.
Nah.
Like there are some games I
Why?
feel this way about. Like
See, my argument, Tyler, was that
I don't think they need it. I don't think they need it. At
If you
least
don't-
I don't care about like the first one might actually need it, but I don't think the Ezio trilogy needs it.
Tyler, all I'm saying is Ubisoft needs a fucking win.
No, they don't. Fuck them.
Oh, okay. Well,
dang.
Honestly, fuck Ubisoft. I'm honestly over them. Like,
yes, I think everyone was over them a long time ago. Roughly around like Far Cry 3 or 4 and Assassin's Creed Revelation and Black Flag. That's when That's when Ubisoft was like peak, and now everyone's just woo.
the Ezio trilogy, yeah, like that and the Ezio trilogy, like they did really good.
3 I
on
never
that.
finished. Even though I bought the collector edition with the little statue, which I threw away, I think at some point.
3 was, I thought 3 was fun. A lot of people didn't like it.
3 was
but
fine
I
because it introduced the sailing that Black Flag really leaned into. And then everyone was like, where's more? And then they're like, no.
But see, I hate what Black Flag turned this series into.
Would you say it was the turning point of where it started getting bad?
It was the very end of 3 because you could tell at the very end of 3, like the ending of 3 is where like the definitive, like they had a story, like they clearly had a story.
Oh, yeah.
And then they decided to throw it into the dirt, and then 4 was the beginning.
Yeah, but Tyler, I would say that I totally get what you mean.
Nah,
yes.
bro,
No,
fuck this.
No. Because I think the story was cool, and they definitely had no clue what to do after 3 ended. But
they did. They clearly had a story. They had a clear story.
All I was going to say is the gameplay, I think, is the reason people got bored with Assassin's Creed.
At the start, yeah.
Like, yes, going into 4 and being like, I'm a rando. Like, what happened to being Desmond? The whole point was I'm Desmond. And now I'm just a nobody, a faceless nobody playing games I'm nothing special about this anymore.
Yeah,
Man, I just flashed back. Speaking of not feeling special and multiple people in the Animus, but remember 2's multiplayer? Did you ever play that, Tyler?
No, I didn't.
Oh man, it was either 2 or Brotherhood or I think Brotherhood or Revelations had multiplayer. That was actually fun. That was the age of weird. Like we all talk about. Remember what was the big game that came out a couple of years ago that flopped? That was the 4v1 monster thing shooter. It was like all Evolve. Yeah. Like Evolve came from at the end of the era of like 360 games with weird what's the word for like the different team styles? Asymmetrical, thank you. Asymmetrical multiplayer where like Assassin's Creed was weird multiplayer. Dead Space was fun multiplayer. Playing as I almost called them the Xenomorphs again. The Necromorphs. Versus a bunch of like Isaacs was actually fun. Like I miss that age of like weird multiplayer where people had different team setups. That was fun. Anyway, let's keep going.
I never played that.
You should have. It's your problem.
Nah.
Tyler, you don't play enough video games. You don't like anything.
Damn.
I played so many. I played more games than you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, damn. Not yeah, I know.
Wait, so what's going on with the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 remake?
Yo, this Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Yo, what is
I'm
this?
joking. Sorry, it says SH2 in the notes. I'm making a meme.
Okay. I was like, oh my god,
Who's out
wow.
here trying to play Silent Hill 2?
Not me.
Oh, no, it's me. I wrote this. I forgot that this was from like a while ago, so I forgot.
Yeah, the literal question is, do I care about it?
Yeah,
I don't think so. It's what you wrote.
I think I was talking about it to you before we were gonna start it, and I'm like, I don't know if I should.
It's worth it. It's worth it to talk about why you don't care about it.
I don't care. Oh, you know why? You know why I actually don't care?
Why?
Because Silent Hill 1 I felt needed the remake and not 2. Like 2 got a really big popularity recently, like, and Bluebird team apparently did a good job. And old name for those who've been listening to the podcast, but I've been watching Aiden play it, and it looks pretty good. But I think I honestly might wait for a sale drop.
I feel you. Paying full price
Okay.
for games is starting to hurt.
Especially at fucking $70, and I'm like, how much game time am I actually getting?
I mean,
But it's
I
like,
don't
when you
have the
think
game
about-
time problem, but still throwing down $70 for a digital copy of a game hurt me the other day.
Yeah, you make money.
I know, but like I don't. All right, we'll get to why it hurt me later.
Damn.
Fair. But I think I will play it. Just I think I'll wait for a sale. I'll just continue to play my Resident Evil games every Halloween. And Phasmophobia. Apparently, Phasmophobia is like, you know, people have been
popping
getting
off
into
now?
Hunt Showdown too, which is another game that's like, you know, spoopy. Well, at least it's supernatural. Like imagine what the fuck is that game where you extract with people, not The Division? Oh my god, Escape from
Hold
Tarkov.
on.
It's like
Oh, there
Escape
you
from
go.
Tarkov, but like you play as like supernatural like hunters.
Interesting.
And you try to extract and stuff. But I don't know. I'm probably not gonna end up playing it at this rate. Like people wanted to play, I'm like maybe. I'm playing KOTOR also. Speaking of money, like value for money or whatever, I downloaded Noida. At least Freeman saw me play it. I put 20 hours into it.
It seems like the kind of game that's super easy to get lost in just because you're like, I'll do one more run. I'll do one more run.
Yeah, and it was $4. Like you can't beat that.
Yeah, I think I grabbed it
can't
during one of the Steam sales last year just because it looked cool.
And the day that you get to it, it's worth it. But yeah, I don't know. I want to play more spoopy games. I've been watching more spoopy movies than playing games recently.
Really getting in the festive spirit.
Yeah, I have slowly realized that maybe I am Val, but like with consuming media. But I just watch the same movies over and over again.
Just don't be one of those people who like, oh, Christmas? That means I'm going to watch Christmas movies every night for 25 nights.
Well, I
Just
don't do
don't-
it for every 25 nights, but I do watch hella Christmas movies. But see, here's the problem though, right? And I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but the more like the older we get, right? The passage of time feels shorter,
Absolutely.
right? Like our perception of time shrinks. And I'm like, because like I've always been like, oh, I'll watch Die Hard and Home Alone every year, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it's getting close. Like we're in that final quarter of the year. Like I will probably pick up those movies, but I'm like, I feel like I watched them yesterday.
Yes. I remember it's so like TBS does the 24-hour marathon of what's that stupid Christmas movie?
A Christmas
Christmas Story?
Christmas Story. Yes, there you go. And I used to watch it every year, but I remember it was like maybe 2-3 years ago. It was on, and I'm watching it on Christmas. I'm like, God, I feel like I just watched this. And then it hit me. The last time I saw it was last Christmas. I'm like, it like a year went by in an instant, and it felt that close.
Yeah, man. The same thing with like Halloween movies, because like I was about to watch The Thing. Like I was halfway through watching The Thing 1982. And I'm just like, man, like why does it feel like I watched this recently? I literally had the same thought, and I went back to my Letterboxd. I was like, oh, I wonder if I rated it. I rated it, which meant I watched it at least once after I started Letterboxd, because that was the rule I did, right?
Yeah.
I saw the last time I watched it was literally almost to the day a year ago.
Wow.
And I was like, I hate this. This is weird. So I stopped watching, and that's why I was watching a bunch of other like stuff I haven't seen before.
Yeah, I think the key is to not do movies on an annual basis at this point. Like try and alternate year to year.
Mm.
Yeah. Kids, don't get old, man. Fucking sucks.
Yeah, man. The years start coming and they don't stop coming.
They don't stop coming.
And they don't stop coming. Now I know why everyone keeps repeating this because it's true.
Yep.
True.
All right, we'll switch to talking about something that is not coming anymore.
Damn.
So I was upset about this one. So for anyone out of the loop, the director of the Smash Bros. Series, Masahiro Sakurai, after releasing Smash Ultimate, he went on to start doing a YouTube series just about game development practices. And these were like short, maybe 5 to 10 minute videos once every like week or so. And a lot of them were cool about like, here's why you alter certain character animations. Here's why we used to have weird borders on games for the NES. Or like, here's why you let players pause cutscenes and respect their time. And it was all very interesting insight into his ideas about game development. And he teased a while back that he had just recorded the last episode and it was going to release at some point. And it came out today. It's 46 minutes long. So obviously I haven't watched it yet because it's way too long. But during the video, he confirmed that since 2022, he's already started working on his next game, and he's just waiting for it to get officially announced. Which sounds like it's going to be a Switch 2 game based on the fact that it hasn't been announced yet. But we'll see what it is. I highly doubt it's Smash. I'd be willing to bet good money it's a new Kid Icarus title for Switch 2. But overall, I thought
Does anybody
really cool...
actually give a shit about Kid Icarus? Though? Like, let's be real for a second.
Absolutely not. It's such a goofy franchise. The 5 players who bought it for 3DS are like gonna foam at the mouth when they hear about it.
5 people who bought it. Like,
I will say
there was like a Kid Icarus game like that was 3D, right? Like,
yeah, there was one for 3DS. It was after he got put into Smash. What is it, Smash 4? The one for 3DS and Wii U. Or no, sorry, he was in Brawl. It was after Brawl and was interested. So they made a 3DS game with him. It sold decently. It was the entire reason they released for the 3DS the Circle Pad Pro, which gave you a second circle pad. And then no other game used this thing.
Right.
And it sold well enough, but like it was also, I think it was the first game that you needed to have the new 3DS for, not the original 3DS.
Yeah.
So that already kind of segmented the player base. That said, if they do something with like gyro controls for the next one, I feel like that'd be interesting on the Switch too. Because let's be real here, it's just another Switch, so it's gonna have all the same shit as the last one. Which kind of leads into what happened for the next topic. I'll just get right into it. Nintendo has continued their anti-emulation rampage by going up against... They'd already gotten rid of Yuzu, the #1 Switch emulator for Android. And they went and they shut down Ryujinx, which was like the secondary. With Nintendo making this grand statement of how much emulation kills their business model, to which everyone is like, you don't sell half the fucking Super Nintendo games we're trying to emulate, so shut up. But the grim reality of this is that the Switch is, you can emulate pretty much every game on your like present day Android phone, because the Switch 1 is using 2015 mobile hardware. So it's not that hard to emulate. And the reality of it is the architecture is not changing for the Switch 2. They're really trying to cover this up, but if the Switch 2 launches in the current state it's in and has software parity with the Switch 1 because it's the same fucking console with a better processor, you're going to have day one emulation of Switch 2 with the current Switch 1 emulators. And Nintendo is upset about this, which is why they're going on this huge rampage into anything that emulates Switch 1, because they don't want to deal with lost sales on Switch 2. And that's all this screams. The fact that Ryujinx wasn't doing the thing that Yuzu was doing that made them illegal by collecting money from users has Nintendo going like balls to the wall legalese of why emulation is technically illegal in 5 different languages, because they are terrified that people are just going to pirate Switch 2 games.
Good, they should be scared. Fuck them.
Yeah. I don't know. I understand
like,
as
they're the
I
reason
understand.
why people.
I understand
they're the reason why people pirate, though.
Yeah, but like, this is my nuanced take on this. As someone who's in the emulation community pretty aggressively at this point, that you shouldn't be trying to emulate stuff that a company's actively trying to sell right now as a new release. Like, you have to understand, like, this is a business model. People try to make money off this. For shit they're not selling, I will happily pirate Pokemon Gens 1 through 4 because they don't fucking sell Gens 1 through 4. They don't legally make them available anywhere.
They actually
1 through 4? They
just sell them at a ridiculous fucking price point.
No, they don't sell them. Nintendo doesn't sell them.
Yeah, they do.
Gens 1 through 4?
Yeah.
Gens 1 and 2 were up for sale in the 3DS eShop, which shut down a year ago.
I thought I saw it on the maybe I'm tripping. Hold on.
No, because now they don't sell the games more. Now it's all part of like the Nintendo what is it?
So like they don't
NSO. Like you get games included as part of being a Nintendo Switch Online subscriber, but they don't include the Pokemon games because they think that
did. Oh, it was just the 3DS.
Just the 3DS, you could buy them like individually for $15, and you'll never guess what I did. I bought them because I had the philosophy like, if you were going to sell me something, I'm going to buy it. It's the same reason I bought the Mario Sunshine Remaster Collection, because I was like, you know what? This is what I've been asking for. I will buy it if you're going to sell it to me. But if you are literally not going to sell me Mother 3, I'm gonna pirate the ever living shit of this video game. Like, you can't have it both ways. You can't not sell me a game and then be mad that I'm not paying you for it.
Big facts.
That's definitely where I'd say my line is too. Like, if there's no legal way to acquire a game other than buying an old console that is out of manufacture, and buying a game that is just sitting in a warehouse somewhere and hoping that they're all legit and all work, like, in today's day and age, that's just not. No, you shouldn't have to do that.
It's so annoying with Nintendo's argument, like, oh, if you pirate a Wii U game, we lose money. It's like, not only do you not sell the Wii U, you don't sell this game.
Yeah.
Like, you literally can't make money on this right now unless you decide to sell it.
How do I acquire this from you? You don't. Well, then I guess I'm not. Then no one's losing, are they?
The problem is they want games to be like the Disney Vault, and even Disney's like, yo, the Disney Vault doesn't fucking work. We put it all up on streaming because we need people to pay us.
We need incentives these days. We need things that keep people here spending money. Excuse me.
All right, I'm done bitching about Nintendo.
Yeah,
this weekly tradition's
not
over.
fucking Nintendo.
Well, sorry, the tradition's not over. It's over for this week.
For this week.
Oh man,
Right.
it's all the Friedman news from.
Yeah, let's move on from shitting on Nintendo to praising Sega. So, Atlas goes and releases their newest game,
Persona 6.
Metaphor ReFantazio.
Isn't Nintendo Sega though?
Is Nintendo Sega? What do you mean?
Isn't Nintendo Sega? Didn't they buy Sega? Am I tripping?
No, you're tripping.
You're
Sega's still independent.
Thank goodness.
Oh damn.
They just partnered for the Olympic
Why does
series.
it feel like they're Nintendo's bitch then? I'm just saying.
They were for a while. They no longer are. Now Sega's a massive publisher. Like they went and they bought Atlas, so they own arguably the largest JRPG group that's not Square Enix. Either way, they release not Persona 6. This is the game from the director, the art lead, the music guy who typically work on the Persona franchises, who left after 5 to go do something else, and then let the new Persona studio, they let all the new people work on the 3 remaster so that they can get experience in understanding what makes a Persona game, but then also understand the architecture they set up with 5 for that whole engine they use. And it was a really cool idea that they could just get another team up to speed on Persona so that team can work on 6 once they're all well-versed in Persona. And then this team can go and take everything they've done working on Personas 3 through 5 and say, let's go make a game that isn't set in Tokyo and isn't about high schoolers. And the internet lost it.
I want to buy that, though.
I thought I wasn't going to buy it either. I was like, it's fine. I got other games to play. I had Persona 3 Reload to play. But this game was getting insane amount of praise. And the thing I noticed the most of this, and it's probably just from getting recommended way too many Kotaku articles from Google, but it's become an opportunity for people to shit on things they don't like about Persona 5 because there's now a game out that's similar. And one of the things I can't get over is everyone still gets mad in Persona 5, and this is not unique to Persona 5. Every single Persona game is like this. You, as a high schooler, can get into a relationship with another high schooler because your character's a high schooler. And everyone who sees this goes, wow, it sounds like you, the adult playing this game, is a groomer. And it's the dumbest argument ever. And the biggest thing I've seen is that, finally, Atlas has gone and released a Persona-style game where you don't play as a minor. Except what did they do? They didn't include any romance in this game. It's like purely a epic fantasy story with no waifu bullshit. And now gamers are mad.
And now gamers are mad. Damn.
It's odd criticism, but there is some legitimate criticism of the Persona franchise that's being brought. It's being brought up just because of how well ReFantazio is changing things by not having to adhere 100% to the formula. And I think I'll get to it in a little bit. But I just wanted to talk about the weird everyone bashing on Persona 5 trend going on now because there's something better.
Yo, but it's totally fine because can't you get with the teachers or something like that in 5 or whatever?
So you can.
You're high school.
But all right, mini rant time about getting with the teacher Persona 5. She is objectively one of the best characters in the game. The problem is you are a minor. So you getting with the teacher
saying, bro.
is kind of weird. Especially when the first boss of the game is a teacher who is sexually abusing students. And the whole thing is like, wow, these teachers getting with students are bad. And then you turn around and go, yeah, but I'd like to seduce my homeroom teacher. So it's iffy. That said, she is a solid top tier waifu in that game.
Sorry, best woman.
Yes. You have to clarify.
Gotta clarify.
Because there are many girls. There's only 3 women in that game.
I can't.
Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about some actual Weeb shit. So, since the last time we recorded, there have been like 3 major anime events, all filled with announcements. On top of that, a bunch of shows have ended who all confirmed their season 2. So, Tim, do we just want to like rapid fire a bunch of these? Oh God, Tim, how long has your mic been disconnected? Hello? Is anyone there? Am I disconnected? Oh no. You guys there? Hey, did you just leave?
Yes, I was dealing with an
All right, because
SOS
we had
emergency.
well, because it seems like we had some type of connection issue in here. Because I started talking and no one was responding. I haven't heard Tyler's voice in like
Oh.
a minute. So there's just dead air in this episode.
No,
that we're
it's
gonna have
fine.
to
It's
cut
fine. No, it's
out.
fine.
Oh my God, please.
No, it's
Anyway.
fine. I thought you were talking. I assumed you guys would go right into the Weeb shit because there was
We
literally
did. I said, Tim, would you like to rapid fire the season
Sorry,
2s? And I just
sorry.
get dead silence.
Sorry. No. Sorry. There was literally a baby emergency of a literally screaming his head off child. And Val like grabbed me out of the room and was like, "Get out here! I need help." Okay, amazing season 2 announcements. Frieren season 2, baby, confirmed.
I saw the
Tyler
announcement. We
did
got the,
disconnect also,
Yeah, all right.
so it's not,
Okay, cool.
it's not his fault.
So we got the same director, we got the same studio, and we got Evan Paul on the soundtrack. I don't know any of the other staff who's sticking on, but the fact that we have the director in the studio is
that's plenty.
good.
Well, I thought the director wasn't confirmed. Wasn't he like being coy about it?
I saw in the announcement thread that they confirmed the same director, but
Okay,
prior to
that's
this announcement, he wasn't.
That's fine. It's
I-
fine.
Look, Tyler's. You didn't even need to reconnect. Okay, we're talking about anime that you're not going to care about, even Frieren, which is so good.
I'm trying to watch the dude. It's hard.
Sure.
This motherfucker.
I mean, it's a
Oh,
slow
sorry.
show, I'm
Sorry,
not
the
gonna
guy
lie.
you were yelling at earlier. Yeah, I'm not going to take it lying down anymore. I won't accept this
Nope, I'm not gonna
bullying.
say it. I won't say
Yeah,
it.
there it
Oh,
is.
say it.
Nope, too late. I'm moving on. I'm not letting him say it.
Like, he is.
There he is. Yeah, this is my most anticipated anime project right now by a lot.
Which is funny because now we're going to talk about my most anticipated anime project by a lot.
Which is fair because you've been waiting for this for like 5 years now.
Dude, it pains me how long it's been since Grand Blue Season 1, because Season 1 ended with a lot of material to work with in the manga, and I don't know if it wasn't popular. It was the fact that this was one of those shows during the time where Amazon is like, we want to be a serious Crunchyroll competitor and locked it down as a Prime exclusive, which is kind of a problem because now I don't think there's currently a legal way to watch Grand Blue in the United States because Prime didn't renew their license for it and didn't offer it up to anyone else. Regardless, Season 2 is finally happening. Very excited. Hopefully they can be as funny as Season 1. It's been so long.
Yeah, I feel like I probably need to restart the show if I really want to give it a good shake. Because
I mean, I'll happily rewatch
we watched
it again.
it so long ago. We watched those
Tim-
few episodes so many years ago.
Yeah, and then listeners, for context, Tim and I were trying to figure out what shows to watch when Val isn't around, and I was like, "Oh, screw it! You're not caught up on Grand Blue. Let's watch a random episode." We watched like one in the middle of Season 1,
And, I was
and it was very jarring to jump back in the middle of it.
Funny. Yeah, it's funny. That's good. Oh, God, I don't remember any of these characters. I remember they drink and get naked a lot. That's about it.
Yeah, that's all you need to know. Occasionally they go diving.
Much less exciting. We're gonna really rapid
Occasionally
fire
they go
all this shit.
diving.
Yeah, the rest of these ones are all
Wistoria
shows that were
season
announced at the end of
2.
the season.
I'll talk about Wistoria because it's been so long, but we'll talk about Wistoria. Fine, season 2. There was no way this show was gonna finish in 1.
Yeah, no.
Alya hides her feeling in Russian. Freeman, you said this show.
I'll say I'm absolutely shocked it got a Season 2. They did fucking nothing with this character in Season 1. Like, you have a 12-episode show to convince me, like, this is a waifu character I should like, and she's barely in the fucking season. Like, I couldn't believe how they adapted this. So it's getting a season 2. I'm hesitant to watch it, but I kind of want to because I'm hoping after the last arc it moves along. If it doesn't move along by episode 3 or 4, I'm probably going to drop it during season 2. I'll go to the next one.
This is
Spice and Wolf. So the first season was 26 episodes. It covered everything from the original anime plus like an arc and a half. And then we got confirmation at the end of the final episode, season 2 is happening. To which I think I told you guys, Weeb's in there like, this is amazing. We're getting a full and complete adaptation. And like everyone's doing the simple number crunches that like, let me pause so I don't misinform everyone about how long this franchise is. But Spice and Wolf is a long book series. It's like, it's not 20 books. How many is it? No, it is. It's 24 volumes. And season 1 got us to like volume 7. So simple math tells you no. A second season doesn't even like barely gets you past the halfway mark of the franchise. And losing the inner like I can't believe it. Complete adaptation. It's happening. So until I hear about season 3, it's a pipe dream. It's a fine show. The animation's great. The story has I have this problem with certain shows where like you can very much tell we lost Tyler again. It's very much adapted from a book because very rarely is there anything visually happening on screen. It's mostly just two characters in a room talking at each other. And Spice World very much has that problem. It is an interesting show that talks about like the economics of the Middle Ages, but at the same time, it's like, can we move on from this conversation and do something with the plot?
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever pick it up. Maybe I will someday, but like I don't know. I'm sure Luigi's just thrilled. But
it's wholesome. It's interesting when you learn about economics, but it's just like
Freeman. It's never been about the economics. Let's be clear.
That's the reason I watch is the plot line.
Freeman.
The plot being like, oh my god, suddenly there's a run on armor and the dude doesn't have it anymore. Or like there's interesting plot points about the economy in a place where the internet doesn't exist.
Freeman, that's wonderful. Hollow is the only reason this show ever lasted. Like,
I'm not going to pretend this anymore.
Let's not pretend.
They had so many moments that were easy to turn into gifts that just made Hollow endearing. There's so many ear wiggle sequences that got turned into gifts after this. That's the reason to watch Spice and Wolf.
Yep.
So much show that there isn't a reason to watch.
Oh my fucking god. Slime is fine. Slime exists. Like, it's just a constant in the universe at this point. I mean, we'll watch the movie. Hopefully it's better than the fucking the lowest score I've ever given anything on Mal OVA. And season 4 is coming.
After the last OVAs, I said, I don't know if I'm going to follow through on season 3. And low-key, I kind of regret following through on season 3. Like,
I'm just gonna keep going because, like, for sheer fact that like nothing really has gotten this far as like in terms of a world building show. Like, yeah, like Bleach is forever and One Piece is forever, but like this like nation building thing appeals to that little RTS piece of me still. Like, where I still am like, I wanna see this nation grow and these crazy tech developments like the
like don't get me wrong, the parts where you're talking about like the tech stuff, like the magic shields around the roads and how they're getting trains, like that was all interesting, but like if the next season starts with more than 3 episodes consecutively of purely meetings, I'm out. I can't with characters just talking at each other.
We see the kids one time in episode 1, I'm done.
Really? The kids? All right.
The fucking kids are the worst part. I hate those kids so much. They're so boring.
What's wrong with the churn?
You haven't watched the show. You don't know. Speaking of children who are not terrible, though. Well, they're terrible, but it's entertaining. Oshi No Ko season 3 got confirmed. Wow.
Damn.
I was trying to say that before you said the later part. So
Henry, I'm gonna make sure you know that Tyler is not.
Tyler thinks terrible.
Anymore.
Wow, it's Tyler, not even Uncle Bubba or anything like that.
Henry, please call that man
right
there.
Tyler.
Just Tyler.
Just Tyler.
Please call that man just Tyler, dude. That would break my heart.
Yep, that's well, you started it. Oshi No Ko season 3, confirmed. Yo, this show is still quite a banger. Honestly, let's just get another sick opening out of this show, and then I'll be happy.
It's a good show. I'm very happy we're getting to season 3. I realized that with what's the studio? Dogakobo. They just got bought out by Katakawa, so it sounded like they would probably get pushed on other projects. But right now, Oshi No Ko is like their claim to fame. They're not letting that go.
Making the money. Even though they put out Oshi No Ko and Isla Russian in the same season somehow.
So the thing is, Alya got delayed a season, so it was supposed to be earlier. So it wasn't supposed to be at the same time.
That's still insane.
They had production issues, and
Freeman.
we're like, we need people working on Oshi No Ko, pull them from Alya.
That's great. Those two shows have more than 100,000 people more on Mal compared to third place Wistoria from last season.
Wait, Alya was number 2 last season?
It's only it's 24,000 people behind Oshi No Ko.
God damn. No, not that many people should watch
like I said,
show.
Alya is 110,000 ahead of Wistoria. Nothing else even comes close to touching those two shows. So that's great that it was a production issue. They're doing just fine. There's a reason Kadokawa probably scooped them up.
Yeah.
Elusive Samurai Season 2. Man,
this one was goofy. I don't understand why they decided to, like, instead of announcing at the end of season 2, they like waited till the following Sunday to announce it.
Yeah,
it wasn't even at an event. They just announced it on the weekend.
I'm down. A1 has been kind of hitting bangers. Pretty good.
A1 always has.
Between watching Elusive Samurai and having recently Cloverworks. Sorry, Cloverworks, not A1. I mixed them up. Cloverworks. Watching Windbreaker last season, then watching this, and then now waiting for Windbreaker Season 2, basically, is the next big thing I'm excited for from them. But, man, Cloverworks' action has just been solid. And Elusive Samurai was, like, kind of a weird concept. Oh, also they did Bochi, which is a big deal. Like, there's something... Oh, and they also do Spy Family. Jeez.
Wait, I thought that was Studio Wit.
I don't know. Maybe they help out. But either way, Cloverworks has been really hitting it out of the park with the action shows. And Elusive Samurai is like weird and like almost too goofy, but then some of those moments are like shockingly gory and bloody, and I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of here for this. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited for more Elusive Samurai. Whoa. There you go.
I still will never forget how you didn't like the ending, and I was like, oh, I can't tell Tim that I love this, and I listened to it like nonstop on the flight to Amsterdam.
And then I was like, I get it. It's not a bop for me, but like I get it. It's got
enough English that I could sing along to it, which is enough.
Oh, and then what else is coming, Freeman?
Shoshimin series, How to Become Ordinary. Season 1 ended very interestingly.
God.
Yeah, they were confirmed we're getting a season 2 in August.
You put Shoshimin, and I forgot the Japanese name. Yeah, How to Become Ordinary, the show that Freeman thought was kind of and Val and I thought was no, that's the show that Freeman's watching now. There it is.
Wait till I get the soundboard. Yeah, we'll talk about it shortly.
I'm interested to see it. Oh man.
All right, so this aged like cheese. We were gonna say Uzumaki is coming up soon because they finally confirmed it was coming out, but
now it's all out.
Now it's all out, and the internet's not happy.
I finished it today while I was cooking dinner.
Oh, you watched all? Okay.
I sure did.
We'll save your thoughts. Because just so we can.
Should I save it for later?
Well, no, you can do it now. I don't think we have it in the watch section.
Yeah.
So we're about to move on to the watch section anyway. So go ahead, let us know.
It was not good. But hey, like, to be expected, right? No, the first episode was amazing. First episode was like peak.
Dang.
So who was it that came out, Freeman? Was it like a producer or something, or
I believe it was the director of episode 1, because he was cut from the project after episode 1, and he explained what happened after he had left.
Yeah, he came out and he said, hey, so we had 3 options. Put out episode 1, 2, 3, and 4 and know that 2, 3, and 4 are kind of messed up. Put out only episode 1 and get flamed for only doing 1 episode after all these years, or cancel the project altogether. And he very specifically alludes to somebody made decisions that fucked this whole thing up. He doesn't name any names, but he specifically was like, it is someone's fault that this is like this.
So from what I can tell, they produced episode 1. They did not like how much effort and budget had to go into a single episode, and they basically canceled it and decided we're just going to restart it later. So that's why the entire staff changed over after episode 1. There was also like a 3-year gap between production or something along those lines. Like, it's straight up, they started a new production for episodes 2, 3, 4, and that was garbage. So very
I love
unfortunate.
it.
Yeah. I was watching, who was it? Moist Critical was bitching about Adult Swim and how every anime they touch is turning to shit lately. Because you have the trifecta of they funded Uzumaki, they did Ninja Kamui, which kind of I didn't watch
Yeah, Ninja
episode
Kamui shit
7, but like
bad.
after 3 it kind of fell off. And then you have the Rick and Morty anime, which was apparently terrible. So
Forgot
it's
that came out.
yeah. So Adult Swim has a pretty shit track record, and it hurts even more because I didn't put it on the Weeb shit, but apparently they're working with the director from Cowboy Bebop on his next new series, and it's like,
Oh,
no,
right.
please
His
don't.
quote-unquote masterpiece, as I saw on our
Oh,
anime.
Yeah.
Tyler
Oh,
even going,
no.
oh, Neptune.
Look, it's not
Dude,
Bebop
but
2,
like,
it's
I'm
something
so
different.
pissed. I know. But like, it is really upsetting because like, I thought Uzumaki episode 1 was like, that shit was peak. I was ready for it to be like, yo, is this gonna be like it? Like, is this gonna be the next hot thing for me? And it was bad. It was bad. It was very upsetting.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
But we're in a season of bad animation fuck ups. We didn't put in the watch played, but Tim and I finally got to the part of Blue Lock where the animation starts getting shittier.
Oh,
And
man.
unfortunately, TikTok has picked up on that I'm watching Blue Lock
TikTok
game
is TikTok.
because it keeps sending me jokes about people like editing the episode together, but just like dragging and dropping images from Google search. It's a rough season. Anyway, let's move on with the rest of the announcements. Dr. Stone, final season. We already knew it was happening, but finally we got confirmation that it's coming back in January. It is going to be 3 cores. And knowing them, it's probably going to be split cores. There's no way they're running 36 straight. But I got to catch up for the final
It's probably
season.
going to be every other season, but
Which is fine. If Bleach was every other season, it would be great. As opposed to this like double season off
you know what
nonsense.
sounds really silly? Considering when Val and I first met and started watching anime together, like watching Dr. Stone and My Hero End is kind of like finishing some of the biggest shows that Val and I have been watching the whole time we've been together.
That's how I felt when Naruto ended. Like I started it sophomore year of college and I ended it during my last year of grad school.
Sorry, Tyler, what did you just say?
I didn't say nothing.
Oh, I thought you said an ugh, like realizing how much time has passed.
Oh yeah, I did. That was yes.
Because we
I
didn't. Oh,
did,
Freeman, we didn't put on here My Hero, did we? Did we talk about it
No,
last
we
time?
didn't. We didn't. No, we didn't because we only watched it after when we were supposed to record the previous episode.
That's right. And then
Yeah,
we had
It's
scheduling
like-
issues the last 2 weeks, everybody.
It's because like it hurts me for these long running shows. Like just short tangent here that these shows go on a while. Like when I showed you Hero Academia, it was during season 1 where it was 12 episodes, or it was season 2 just come out. So I showed you the first 12 episodes. The last episode of Hero Academia was episode 159. It was even weird when I was watching JoJo because I got to the end of like part 4. My friend's like, "What? I can't watch JoJo. It's too many episodes." And we talking about it's only a couple seasons, and he's like, "Bro, they're on not including God. They don't even have. Never mind. Crunchyroll doesn't have the numbering scheme up, but it was just like JoJo is like over 120 episodes. I'm like, damn, these are actually kind of long. They've been going on for so long that I forget
Yeah, dude.
how big these things are."
It's a
anyway, last
miracle
thing.
that Mob Psycho was only 48 episodes between the 3 seasons.
For real. These shows are either too short or they run way
But
too long.
like
All right.
next year could see the end of My Hero Academia and Dr. Stone next year. 2
And
shows
if it-
that Val and I've been watching, and one has
oh, no.
gotten one after getting really bad has gotten great, and one has consistently, slowly, kind of trickled away in quality.
So actually, no. The release schedule is
That's why
split. I was going to say,
Sorry.
it's not next year, but the year after Demon Slayer is going to end with the movies.
No, I realized why I was DCing because somehow my downloads kept got re-triggered somehow. Don't know why.
For what? Your game?
Yeah, my game, like my Steam updates.
What the fuck?
So
And that was
everybody at
kicking
home-
you off
Steps-
of Discord?
It's causing such
Dude.
bandwidth issues.
I have like everybody at home. I have Fisher Price internet.
Oh boy.
alright? It's like it's really bad.
That's
Like
kind of astounding considering how Michelle works from home.
the Quo Boon. Yo, I don't understand how she does it. Well, she's been having more spotty internet issues recently.
I'm assuming you
but,
guys
like,
pay for the best, right? That they offer.
the best that we can get. Yeah, like which is not good.
Damn.
Trust me, if we could get like Verizon or something, like Freeman, when we lived together, Verizon was the best ISP I ever had, hands down.
We had pretty good internet at the house.
I mean, Verizon, as expensive it is good internet. I wish I had I have Verizon, so I don't have to pay Optimum's infinity dollars every month. But
Yeah, they jacked the price to get them unhappy.
Our fucking gig of internet every month is pretty goddamn good. So
Yeah, I could only dream. All right, I could only dream.
Anyway, we got completely off topic.
Anyway, so Tim, do you want to spearhead the last thing on the Weeb shit?
You mean dun 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 dun?
Yeah, I'm like, why? Like, dude, everybody who I've talked to,
here we go,
is like, you need to watch this, Tyler. You need to watch this.
All right, I'm gonna pitch it with a really stupid joke here. It's like Fooly Cooley if it wasn't shit.
Yo, you know what? As someone who's watched Fooly Cooley, that's a good pitch. That's a pretty solid pitch, actually.
Yeah, I don't have an elevator pitch for Dan, so I'm gonna go with Friedman's.
It's got Fooly Cooley energy, but it's not that plot line. It's not. I mean, maybe it's coming of age, but it's a supernatural duo show, maybe romance. I don't know. The animation's crazy because Science Saru was doing this one. It's definitely worth watching.
Tyler, it's one of those things where, like, as much... Okay, 2 points in its favor. One, you saw, or you heard on Sunday, and you actually 2 Sundays ago, you saw...
Yeah, you guys are autistic.
No, but Leslie being this into an anime...
She's autistic, too.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
How often is she into something new? Okay? How often? The answer is never.
I'm honestly shocked she's watching this.
Exactly. Also, it's one of those shows where if you watch episode 1... Like, there's so little investment here because if you just watch episode 1, because the animation is awesome, you will know if you are going to like the show, but you won't have wasted your time. It's the easiest. It's the easiest thing to sell because the floor is so high. Even if you think this isn't for me, you're not going to say that the animation wasn't awesome, wasn't stellar in episode 1. Mm-hmm. So there's nothing to lose by trying it. That's the way I'm trying to pitch it more.
This is definitely a one episoder. You'll know.
You will know right away if you want to watch this show.
With a minor caveat.
I would like it though.
Minor caveat for the listeners. There is a scene that gets a little
worrisome,
aggressively sexual.
Oh boy, that's making it way worse.
Just know that the author was very aware after the first chapter that people were like, "This is a little too much," so he backs down and does not get to that point again. So that's the worst it will ever be. Just need to clarify that.
Val was about 10 seconds from turning the show off.
Yeah, she started screaming in the mic. I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Okay,
Val was pissed.
Yeah, actually, you know what? You know what? Actually, that's not a huge exaggeration. Tyler, Val was legitimately like, she wasn't just sitting there.
I still hear her saying, "This show has 10 seconds to turn around, or I'm turning it off." Is what she said, and I was like, "Fuck! I thought we were gonna like the show."
And then we showed it to Leslie, and Leslie was like, "Oh shit, let's go."
Is this the duality of
no
of Bananya again?
No. Don't even say Bananya in the same room. You're talking about Dan.
The two of them were in opposing views at one point, but no, it's not Bananya. Which I think also got announced it's getting another
Tyler,
season,
here's the other benefit. This is on Netflix. Very easy and accessible to watch.
I did see it. Yeah, unlike the other anime I'm trying to watch.
Yep. It's not. You don't have to steal Friedman's Crunchyroll. You can just go on Netflix and watch it.
I haven't asked for Friedman's shit in a while.
No,
I felt bad.
That's because you can't. I can't share it anymore.
No. But that was also. I was just going with the meme of how Freeman's complained about how many people he's given his Crunchyroll.
I thought he'd be cool with giving it to me, but I also understand there's too many heads.
No, it's not. It's not an issue of too many heads. They finally locked down how many streams can go at the same time. Yeah. So I was logging in and I couldn't watch because someone else was using it. So that's where I'm like, all right, fun time's over.
Also, just for reference, Dandadan was top 10 on Netflix in its opening week in 35 countries with 3.4 million views. Damn. So it beat out Freeman, for your reference, Ranma 1.5 by over double.
Isn't that shit old?
There's a remake. There's a remake coming out. So it beat the remake of a very classic. It beat the remake of a very classic anime by double, and it beat that new Gundam that we all thought looked like shit by over 1 million views.
Okay, I'm not surprised, but
no. See, you say that. I think a lot of people like the look of that Gundam show. We all thought it looked dumb, and then
I
Freeman,
thought it
if
was
you
gonna
watch
be cool until I saw it.
Freeman, if you watch that Mother's Basement video, he's like, "Yo, by the way, there's a cool looking Gundam show coming out," and I was like, disagree.
So even though we watched the first 5 minutes, I kind of want to watch the actual first episode and see the Gundam before I definitively say this is unwatchable. Because we didn't really see any like true robot versus robot fighting, which let's be real here, that's why I'm watching Gundam.
Should we need to?
Maybe.
Freeman, those tanks looked, those faces.
They look like shit. It was PS3 graphics. Let's be real here. This is a budget CG show that's like worse than some of the like CG shit I complain about regularly. But it's got war crimes.
I was gonna say that Gundam tag on it, and as soon as that RX prototype walks on screen, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my god, I gotta watch the Gundam!"
It's a Gundam.
What a monster! All right, so
anyway, so we're done with the Weeb show. Let's continue talking about anime.
Yeah, let's blast through. So we mentioned a lot of season 2s, mostly because a lot of season 2s got announced as soon as shows that we were watching ended. Slime was fine. There's tons of meetings. It's a big meme. Throw this on in the background if you know Japanese. If not, well, you're just gonna have to suffer through watching, honestly, some pretty boring shit. But I'm just too into the world building at this point to. It's like there's not enough other things to drag my attention away when Val and I could just kind of throw this on and I can yell, "What the fuck is going on?"
It was kind of a meeting each week of saying, like, are they going to be in a meeting and how much of the episode will be the meeting?
And the answer was usually all.
The answer was yes and half for most of the episodes.
Oh my god, and that stupid light speed hero loser. Oh my god, I hated all that shit.
I enjoyed
light speed hero loser.
I liked his gimmick.
No, Tyler, his whole gimmick is that he has no real abilities, but other people do things and then give him credit for it and are like, "Oh, I was inspired to do it by you."
Well, I thought his power is that he does inspire his party. So the hero's party is insanely strong, but him, the hero, is just a dude.
But he gets all the credit for it. And then there's a tournament arc where he has to fight, and he talks his way out of 2 matches and gets his opponents to surrender. And then in the last match, he goes, "I'm going to gracefully bow out," and everyone's like, "Oh my god, what a true hero!" While the rest, everyone watching is like, hilarious. "What the?" Nah, it drove me nuts.
I loved it
because it let Gope to win. It let Gope to win, and that was not what I was here for.
Dude, God was my favorite. I'm glad Well, I'm kind of upset that he won, but yeah, I got that.
You just admitted you're also upset about it.
Well, he didn't deserve it, but I wanted him to win.
Oh my fucking god. Whatever. We're gonna get infinite more slime until it catches up. I'm sure it makes a lot of money. It was. I'll forever remember that the meme of anime is in Times Square was a picture of fucking slime in Times Square. So. Take that for what it was. Elusive Samurai was probably my show of the season.
I think we had slightly conflicting opinions on it. I liked the show, but it didn't grab me as much as it grabbed you and Val. Like,
yeah, it grabbed me a lot.
Elusive Samurai has a couple scenes that are very serious, and when it's serious, it's phenomenal.
Tyler, this is one of those shows where I'm not saying you watch it, obviously, but you know how you've heard me talk a couple times on here recently about like the moments of directing. Where it's like that moment was put together. There are moments, and I know the one Freeman could think of immediately if I said anything.
It's all in episode 1. There's so many good scenes in episode 1 that sold me on this.
What? I'm talking about like episode 10.
I'm talking about the ball drop.
No, I'm talking about the brothers.
Oh, the wall? Yeah, okay. That seems very good.
There are moments in this show that are just like chef's kiss. I'm watching it and I'm like, I couldn't give notes. I couldn't look at this and think of a way to make this better. This was so perfectly shot, composition, musically done, like the reactions of the characters just perfect. And I think that elevates it for me a lot, is that there were these moments that I was just like, that was put together so perfectly. And this is also a show where they definitely are going for a style. And I've talked about this on the podcast a couple times recently after watching like Mob Psycho and everything, but like that's the kind of shit that really grabs me these days, is something that tries something new and tries to be its own thing. And this is so trying to be its own thing. There's like funny enough, even though all the main characters are like kids running away from a warlord, basically, like this show doesn't have like the anime bullshit. Like there's a little bit of like goofiness. But it's almost more...
It is a little bit of bullshit.
No. Freeman, I would almost say it's more like American cartoony, like Roadrunner Acme shit. than it is like the anime. Like Leslie always talks about how Dave hates like the sound effects and everything, or hates like the the falling into boobs and things like that. Like none of that is here.
Do you not remember those? Anytime they're running, the ninja one happens to notice a particular woman running in the background.
Yeah, but he's like the stand-in character for it. Like that's just a character flaw. That's not the show. That's not the show trying to push this thing. And like it feels goofy, but it's not like the anime tropiness that there's no anime tropes in here where I'm like, ugh, other than him, and he's very much a character unrelated to everything else going on. I don't know. Freeman and I are never going to agree perfectly on Elusive Samurai. I think both of us are going to watch season 2, though.
Oh yeah, no, it's not a bad show. I just don't love it as much as you guys.
See, love is also a strong word because like I gave it an 8. Like that's a really good show for me, but not like okay.
But I feel like you're singing its praises though.
Okay, well, yeah, because I think it's really excellent. But you know what was more excellent? Oshi no. I'm gonna jump ahead. Oshi no Ko season 2 got my highest.
I was saying Wistoria was better, and I was gonna smack you right there. But
Oshi no Ko was the highest of the season for me.
I think I gave this season a 10.
Yeah, which as we discussed, so literally we scored this sitting on the couch, right 10 feet away from me, Freeman. You said, Tim, on your scale, I'm a 9 for you is a 10 for me. I'm going with a 10, and I went with a 9. Yeah, we both agree this is like absolutely fantastic.
Perfect animation, perfect content, characters were great. I have zero complaints about season 2 of Oshi No Ko.
Again, just like Elusive Samurai, directing moments, like all the shit with the stage play between the two girls. Especially what's her Akane, her whole bit, Freeman.
Yeah, the backstory in the middle.
Woo, fantastic.
Even just taking a piece of shit side character and giving him his big moment in that one action scene was enough to be like, yo, you made me care about a character I just don't care about.
Yeah. No, I will say the allusion to supernatural shit creeping in has me slightly worried for season 3.
Yeah, we'll see.
But we'll see. Obviously, I'm going to watch, but I'm a little bit like, this was better when we didn't deal with this shit. When the most supernatural thing was Aqua dark starring out was other than that there was nothing supernatural, and now it's like I'm just gonna keep blitzing because we want to get to let Tyler not talk about anime. Wistoria,
it's just because you guys see all this stuff together and you don't include me in your activity.
Don't even. Okay, I'm gonna ignore you. Wistoria was a fine shonen. I gave it a 7. Honestly, in the future, I could probably knock it down to a 6.
What did I give this one? So for listeners, this one was like it's the concept of Mashal, but it's not a comedy. It's guys at magic school. He can't do magic, but he has like ambition. He has drive. The animation's pretty good. I think it's the author from Is It Wrong to Pick Girls in a Dungeon, who he's good at world building. He's not really great at character building. I gave it a 7. I thought it was enjoyable to watch, but nothing that I'd go and like really tell people about.
It was fun to watch, and then it was immediately like out of my brain as soon as it was over.
I'm glad it's getting a season 2. It'll flesh it out a bit because it's the world is interesting enough that I want to see more.
Yeah, there's definitely allusions to like interesting shit going on, but the stuff we've been exposed to is very generic, like Earth.
It's a tournament
nature,
arc.
Ice, fire, like all the stereotypical.
Oh no, there was an accident in the dungeon.
It's another anime. What the hell you expect, bro?
We're expecting something new.
Speaking of something new, My Hero Academia.
So Tyler, this is the highest I've rated a season since season 2.
Same.
This is like this. It finally got like if for the longest time in my mind, Hero Academia peaked during the tournament arc, the Deku versus Todoroki fight, and we finally got to the point where like, damn, it's finally better.
Finally,
so
literally,
this season delivered.
Literally 6 seasons, and we're finally better than peak My Hero.
I sat through 100 episodes of Naruto before it got as good as the second tournament arc. This happens sometimes. But yeah, this season of Hero, very cool. Very upset that we're going to have to wait a half a year for what's effectively the last half of the last fight.
Only knock against this, fuck those last few episodes on a plot I don't care about whatsoever.
Yeah, without spoiling it.
Especially when they're teasing something going on off camera, and I'm like, I want to watch that more.
Yeah, Tyler, without really spoiling it, they have a bit where it's like, I'll say it, All Might is going to do something, and then it just cuts away for 2.5 episodes to something that's objectively less entertaining, but every week baiting like, oh, but like All Might is
but All Might's doing something.
All Might's doing something, and then like we had to wait 3 weeks for this,
and we got half an episode, and then it ended the season.
Yeah, without resolving that plot line. So
yeah, but how am I gonna watch this shit?
I'm pretty sure this one comes to Netflix like a year after Crunchyroll.
So right when we're watching the last season, Tyler can watch the second to last season.
I don't know if you wanted to go watch anime.
I try. It's shitting the bed right now.
Oh really?
For me, yeah, I can't.
I mean, let's say someone was trying. It might be shitting the bed.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Never mind. But yeah, Hero was good. Moving on.
Hero was really good. I'm
must be
shocked.
Nice to watch, and it must be nice to
Tyler, don't act like you're no.
Yeah, okay. You know what I do instead? I just play video games.
Correct.
Instead. That's what I do.
All right.
We're almost done.
We'll talk about an actual interesting series because it did something different here.
Yeah.
So Shoshimin series, or How to Become Ordinary, is his English title. Same author as another book series, Hyoka, which was the same kind of, male and female lead solving mysteries, but this one had a little, how do I put this? The main characters are just both weirdos, and that's what made it interesting.
Yeah.
But my problem with the show was the way you guys sold me on this. Like, there's an episode where they try to find this mystery of how this dude made chocolate milk without like using a third cup or something. And I was like, all right, if you can make an interesting episode of that, you'll hook me. And I watched the episode on a plane, and at the end of it, I was like, okay, that did not need to be 20 minutes of a mystery. And I couldn't shake over the rest of the show. Like, all the mysteries were good, but it just felt like a lot of it was very like, why are we doing this?
That's fair. And my thing that I've said multiple times for it is this show is a stage play. This is two characters sitting on a stage, literally just having conversations. And if you're not into that, totally fine. Val and I were pretty engrossed, and I think Val actually enjoyed it even more because of her history with stage in masks and shit in high school.
Yeah.
I was intrigued the whole time, and it felt like such a. I know we've been talking. I've brought up this concept multiple times. It felt like such a breath of fresh air, where it's like this is just a conversation that, unlike Slime, has weight behind it, because these kids make these nothing investigations seem like the biggest thing, and they really pull it off, and it's interesting. There's Tyler. There's almost an entire episode dedicated to the main character Guy and the girl go over to the guy's friend's house. The guy makes 3 cups of hot chocolate, right, Freeman? Or 4 cups of hot chocolate. But then when the sister of the guy whose house they're at and the 2 main characters are in the kitchen, the girl goes, there's only 2 dirty cups. But he made 4 cups of or there's only 1 dirty spoon or something like that. But there's some
4 it's
weird thing.
The average person would be like, this doesn't matter.
It's like a detail that doesn't matter. But they go, how did he make 4 cups of hot chocolate while only getting 1 extra cup or 1 spoon or something dirty? And they literally spend almost a whole episode trying to figure out how he did that.
I hate episodes like that.
Which is fine.
That was the appeal of the show.
And that's why I say it's not for everyone. I thought it was interesting and engaging to have something different. But it's absolutely not for everyone. 1000%.
Yeah. Later mysteries have more gravity than trying to figure out who's this girl trying to convince people to do drugs, or who's this guy who's stealing bikes. So once the mysteries ramp up in intensity, it's a lot better. But then you'll have some episodes where it's the main character eats the girl's cake while she's not there, and he has to come up with some really elaborate scheme for her to not realize that there was an extra cake in the first place. It's an interesting show. I didn't love it, but I'm also not opposed to watching season 2. It really depends on what else is airing at the time.
Sure.
All right.
Tyler, we're done with my anime.
Yeah, I'll blitz for a bit. And we actually cut Dan to Dan out of here because we already pretty much talked about it in depth. Real quick, Tower of God season 2, absolutely fucking terrible. I'm dropping it. I thank God they split it into 2 separate cores on my anime so I could finish the first one, rate it poorly, and not watch the second half. This is bad. Damn. This is actually really, really bad, and I don't understand. Maybe it's just people have stopped watching it and they're not in the discussions anymore. But no one's talking about how it's bad until you go outside of anime space and everyone's like, this show fucking blows. So I don't know what's going on here with the discourse around it, but it's not a good show. Animation shit. The characterizations in season 2 is just bad. The new characters look so generic, and I have no fucking clue what's going on, because it's like every manhwa where it's like, we're going to introduce some concept that doesn't really matter, so we're not going to explain it to you. And it's like, okay, that's the 5th mechanic you've introduced this week. What's important here? And it's to just throw shit at you. So it's very much a Korean cultural thing, and I'm not here for it. So I'm out. I'm done with this franchise.
Just hitting.
Vtuber Legend. How I forgot to turn off my stream became a Vtuber Legend. I heard what the actual title is. I finished this one during lunch today. This was an absolutely perfect concept for a Vtuber anime, but it was a generic piece of slop. Like, I wanted to give it a 4 out of 10. I ended up giving it a 5 after the finale, because it was actually kind of touching with how much it, how do I put it? Paid homage to like the original VTubers and their impact on the industry as a whole. I'd say as a VTuber fan, they nailed this 100%. They got the humor of it. They got the culture jokes. They hit a lot of references to real VTubers. I thought it was really cool. Like, there's not going to be another show like this for this very niche subculture. But that said, there were a lot of really bad episodes. Like, around episode 7 or 8, every episode devolved into she meets another VTuber, and then they do, I'll call it, the term for it is Manzai comedy. It's the same idea of, like, you know, in Pokemon, like, Brock would fall over a girl and then Misty shows up to slap him. Like, that comedy of person A does something stupid and person 2 berates them for doing something stupid. That style of comedy. It devolved into that exclusively for the last 5 episodes. And, like, they had an episode where they're playing Among Us. Like, it's just Among Us, but they call it Werewolf. But, and it's, part of it is making fun of just, you know, Among Us streamers, but like every joke was just someone says something stupid, someone smacks them, and it's like, I don't understand. Like, I guess Japan really loves this, but this isn't funny. I'm not laughing, and I felt like that for 5 episodes, so I ended up giving it a 5. Next one, Alya sometimes hides your feelings in Russian. Very cute concept. I really liked it. The main character, like, for a waifu show, they didn't sell me on the main character at all. She did almost nothing and was like a background character for half of it, to the point where people were memeing about how much they want the main character to get with his sister because she's a more compelling character. Yeah. Like, it's goofy. The show had potential, though. It felt like by episode 4 or 5, like, this has the same feeling of Kaguya, and then it didn't quite follow through, and then they eventually just started giving up and doing fan service. So I'm really hesitant about this one. It has potential. I like the main character. He's not oblivious. Like, the whole gimmick is that this girl, she speaks Russian, and she'll, like, occasionally, like, confess her feelings to him in Russian because she knows that he can't understand her, but he can understand her. And they make it very clear from episode 1 that he knows what she's up to, but he doesn't know if he wants to, like, let her know that, hey, I can hear you confessing on a daily basis to me. But he also still does like her and is trying to, like, you know, move towards something. So it's interesting. We'll see if it goes anywhere. I do want to watch season 2, but I'm really hesitant. Next one, MF Ghost is back. I'm watching episode 1, and for the first 3 quarters, I'm like, wow, they learned what everyone didn't like from season 1. The whole episode has been focused on the race. They stopped cutting away from the Eurobeat to actually show racing with Eurobeat on it, and there hasn't been any pervy shit. And then in the last 3 seconds, that one dude who only dates 17-year-olds makes like 3 consecutive jokes about ditching this girl. Like, he's on a date with this girl, and they're like, let's just ditch the date and go to a love hotel. And I'm like, stop. You don't need to do this. And then episode 2 came out, and they got back into their old way of, like, we're going to start playing a Eurobeat song and then cut away and just talk over it and ruin the impact of it being in a race. And then at the end of episode 2, they hit, this is a direction problem I have with MF Ghost, is they want every episode to be a cliffhanger. But if you watch Initial D, the way big pivotal moments happen is, like, Takumi will allude that he's going to do something. The Eurobeat will start to play. He'll do the thing. Everyone gets shocked. And then either him or Ryosuke will start explaining what is mechanically going on in this race. In order to create artificial cliffhangers, they cut you right when the Eurobeat drops and he does the thing. So every episode ends with a Eurobeat buildup to something that might happen, and then nothing happens and the credits play, so they can open next week with that sequence where he does something. And it's so fucking annoying. I don't like it. It's really, really annoying. And they're back on, starting with this episode, they're back on the Angels shit, where it's just like,
they're back on that bullshit.
Yeah, where it's just like every other comment is like, oh my god, look at her butt. And it's like, stop, I'm here for the race. But yeah, MF Ghost is more of the same. It's not any better than last season. If you don't like last season, you're not going to like this one.
Yeah, I feel like I might just not finish watching it, honestly.
Like, completely honest, if you didn't like season 1, it's not much better. So,
yeah,
correct assessment. Don't watch season 2.
That's unfortunate. That's really upsetting.
If there's a particular race where there's a sequence that's good, I might just send you like an episode number and a time and be like, yo, watch this sequence. But I'm not going to tell you to watch the season. And then the last anime on here, sorry if I go a little long on this one, but ReZero Season 3 is back. And the first episode was 90 minutes long, so I was excited for this. I went in a little hesitant because I'm sure, Tyler, you know firsthand, season 2 spent season 1 had 4 arcs in 24 episodes. Season 2 had an arc in 24 episodes. It lingered very hard on a long arc where not a lot happens in the first 14 episodes, and then way too much shit happens in 4 episodes. It was a very odd season that definitely changed the nature of ReZero and how Subaru is connected with a lot of characters.
Yeah.
So I was hesitant going into season 3 because a lot of what made ReZero great, where it's Subaru's in this world where he knows nothing and he's powerless. And going into season 3, Subaru knows a lot about this world. A lot of people know him. He's very in the know and in the mix. He's not an outsider anymore. And more importantly, he now has powers and abilities to fight with. So a lot of what I loved about ReZero and his place in the world is kind of gone. So I was hesitant going into 3. And season 3 opens with reintroducing every character in the franchise in a unique way that they all tie into this current plot line very well. And Subaru's role in it is not this outsider. He's just kind of in it. He's now involved in a lot of plots, which is very cool. But they get right at you with they don't get right at you with the death. Like it's the first hour and 10 minutes is just world building, and then the last 20 minutes, shit hits the fan aggressively and ends with a crazy death sequence. And the director went on record saying, like, when they first got him on for season 3, he's like, yeah, you got to give us an extended episode 1. I am not ending the first episode without Subaru's first death, and I know it happens a while into this plot line, so you got to give me that. And they did a great job of ending that first episode when it finally gets brutal. And since when we were supposed to record this episode, only 1 episode had been out. Now there's 3. Episode 4 comes out tomorrow. And they've been delivering very well in this arc. Almost everything I was concerned about going into the season has been dealt with. The only problem I have with this arc is a lot of times you'll be in a fantasy show and it wants to very much be like, let's just put modern shit in here and no one will notice. The show we were talking about earlier, Elusive Samurai, has a character who can see the future. So it'll just occasionally make modern day jokes that are a little out of place, but you, the viewer, will appreciate them. In ReZero, they have the whole concept that there's other people who've been isekai'd in the past. So they go to this city that supposedly was designed by someone who was isekai'd before, and you get there, and it's literally Venice, but a quarter of it is ancient Japan, inside of Venice.
Whoa.
So I've been jokingly calling this place Japanis, but it's very, the setting's a little jarring, but other than that, season's great. All right, we're actually done with anime.
Jesus Christ, that was so much anime.
What was the other season?
We finished the season like 2 weeks ago, and we also started a new season, so we double dipped this episode.
Well, Freedom double dipped talking about ReZero. That was it. Everything else was old.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, you're right. We didn't talk about except for Dan, we didn't talk about anything else. Talk about Blue Lock another time. Moving on to other stuff that happened. I beat Titanfall 2 in the last 2 weeks.
So did I. Go ahead. You're the one who did it for the first time.
I really enjoyed this campaign. Like, it's been a long time since I played a first-person shooter campaign, and the fact that this one was so platformer heavy reminded me a lot of Portal, which I loved. To the point where I was telling Tim, like,
it was a bot, bro.
I didn't believe you. Not that I didn't believe you. It's that I didn't understand. I understand now. I get it. It was a very fun campaign. My biggest regret about this is that the last 3 missions were just way too short, and I wanted more of it.
Yep.
But overall, very fun game. I understand 100% why you went back and replayed the campaign. I can see myself doing it again in a year or two.
I played it one day after
Yeah,
started.
but Tim will never play any other game, though. He won't play new games. God forbid.
I wish I knew how short the last half was, because I delayed like a week of playing. So I'm like, I need like a good 2 hours to sit down and beat this. And like, I beat it in an hour 15. Not the whole game, the last 3 missions. Like, it was...
Tim won't play new games.
Nope. Fuck you. I'd rather replay Titanfall one time on a Saturday.
Shit, bro.
I'd rather take 4 hours on a Saturday to play one video game that I love.
Yeah, but like, you can take that to play multiple games.
Yeah,
I'm still gonna flame you.
Or you could take 4 hours on like 20 consecutive Saturdays to beat Persona 5.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's totally...
Yeah.
The motivation lasts that long.
Anyway, moving on to the next show that I picked up with my other friend group. We do watch some live action shows, and they were trying to sell me on the show called Nobody Wants This. To which I looked at them and I said, I don't want this. The synopsis of the show is this woman does a podcast with her sister that generally talks about like it's a lot of just sexual topics, and she's struggling to find a man. And then one day she runs into this guy who is a rabbi, and they hit it off. And I heard the synopsis, I'm like, is this pandering? Is this just like they want Jews to watch this show? And then I watched it, and to a certain degree, yes, it does pander to Jewish people who are in the know about Jewish humor. But I think it's a really fun romance show so far. It's starring what's her name, Kristen Bell.
Okay.
Yes, sure. And she does a great job of carrying it. So far, it's a cute romance. I'm 4 episodes in. I think there's 10 or 12 total, and it's already renewed for season 2 on Netflix. Pretty good. If you really like bullshit romance shows, go give it a shot. But it's not the end all be all show here. And then after I got done watching that, finishing Titanfall 2 on Saturday, I knew like, well, great, I beat this. I got to start playing another game on Saturday. What am I getting to next? And I told everyone on the podcast I was going to beat Titanfall 2 before I attempted another long-form JRPG. So I'm sitting here thinking, all right, you know what? I already own Persona 3 Reload. I got it on sale and it was half off like in June or something. So I already own it. The physical copy is literally sitting in front of my TV waiting for me to put it in the PS5. And I don't know if it was I had asked our group chat what I was going to play, or Tim, you made an offhand comment about how...
I just said, Freeman, did you realize that Persona 6 was out?
Yeah, because I knew about ReFantazio and how it's from the same team that would have been doing Persona 6. I did not realize that this game is Persona 6.
Yep.
So Tim messages, and I'm just like, fuck, what do I do? Like, I need to play Reload, but like, this is the newer Persona. What do I do? And Tim, you're just like, you need to play the new Persona.
I was like, all I hear is you need to, about how good Metaphor is. Just play fucking Metaphor.
So I started playing Metaphor ReFantazio. And I will say it's Persona 6. It's crazy to see how much of the DNA is exactly the same, but the fact that they're not bound to all of the rules of the Persona franchise are great. I'll give a couple examples here. Instead of the main game where only your character can change abilities and everyone else is stuck, everyone can change abilities, so you now have more freedom of your party. Everyone is adults with real stories. They're not bound to Japan. Not everyone's in a high school. The calendar isn't 7 days. Persona has the problem that cool stuff happens on Sunday in Japan because it's your day off, but 6 days of the week are school days, and they're all very similar. In this game, the week is 5 days long. So that 5th day is still the cool special day. There's only 4 middle days.
No, I'm only laughing because think of what you just said, like out of context, Freeman. The week is only 5 days long.
I'm aware of this. Then you have stuff like the fact that every Persona game takes place over the course of a school year where you transfer in. So it's a 9-month adventure. And thanks to the structure of Persona 3, something happens every month, which means you need 9 story arcs to make a Persona game work. And it's super obvious when you play Persona 5 that not only do they not have enough for 9, but by the time you get to month 10 and 11, you've already been here too long. With ReFantazio, since it's not based on the Japanese school calendar, they're not bound to that number of months and can do whatever length of story they want to do.
Very cool, Kanye.
But yeah, I'm sorry, I'm rambling here.
No, it's fine.
I'm like 3 hours in. I'm loving it so far. I'm still very much in that like first dungeon tutorial setting. It was so much like Persona because I did a quick check of it. It took me an hour and 40 minutes before the first actual fight of the game. Before that, purely story and random gameplay, but no fights. So this is Persona 6. You like Persona? Go play this game. Now for an
oh my god, it's finally Tyler's turn to talk, and he's gonna bitch about Final Fantasy for a while.
Yeah, Tyler, let's hear it.
I played Final Fantasy VII Afterbirth, and this shit was garbage. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
So you actually finished it?
I actually finished it. After I did announce here that I was probably gonna DNF it, and then I don't know, like I was talking to Freeman about it, like just a little bit, and then Michelle was like, "You're so close to the end, you might as well finish it."
She was like, "Do it, bitch."
Pretty much.
Wait, so going through the Temple of the Ancients, was it a slog for you?
It sure fucking was.
Yeah.
Just like the rest of this fucking
yeah.
Damn, jeez.
I hated it.
Yeah. Oh, hold on, wait, real quick. Listeners, massive spoilers for the finale coming up. If you don't want to hear about it, jump ahead. Tyler, what did you think of the bullshit ending?
Ass. Like, what's the fucking point?
Exactly. I can't stand it.
What was the point? She died. Like, yeah. The thing, the bullshit ending is, Aerith dies anyway. After all that bullshit, she dies, and Zack is just gonna come in every once in a while. Which, you know what? You know what this is about, Freeman? This isn't about like all this other bullshit. This isn't about Aerith coming back to life. This is about the gay threesome between Sephiroth, Cloud, and Zack. Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, you saw the cover art of the game, right? Like, notice how there's no women on it.
Yes. All I see. But actually, like legitimately though, like I'll like to summarize how I feel about the game. I think it looks fantastic. I think the music is great, right? Like all that stuff is fantastic. But man, they shoved so much filling into whatever this is. And the worst part is people apparently loved this. They
Yeah.
loved it. And it really bugs the shit out of me because it's probably gonna like this is gonna be like part 3 is gonna be something like this. And I couldn't, I don't know. I really did not like this game. Like the visuals and everything was probably close to like a 9. Like I think everything looked great. Like when I went to Cosmo Canyon and I looked around Cosmo Canyon, I was floored. Like every place that I visited, um, that I originally played from 7, I was taken aback. Like legitimately, I was like, this all looks really cool. Like I was pretty excited when the you got to like the planetarium. That
Yeah.
was a fun scene.
Yeah, I'll give them
Um,
this, because it's the same, like it's the same staff that did it. But when Final Fantasy 13 came out, and they didn't do cities, and they're like, yeah, no, cities are like next to impossible to do in 3D. Like you guys aren't going to see that in JRPG anytime soon. For them to come to this and finally like execute cities in a 3D RPG well, I was very happy to see it. Like it opens in calm, and you're like, wow, there's a whole ass town.
yeah,
It's
it's
alive and bustling.
yeah, like there's so many things that make me feel like, oh, I am walking through a town, or like I'm walking through like a shitty like undercity. Um, and there are some set design pieces that do look a little wonky, like when you're going through certain places, but the town set design is it's really incredible. Like I honestly can't stop gushing about the visuals of Final Fantasy. They nailed it. They nailed it so well. Um, but in the same breath, I have to quickly say, don't play this fucking game. This game sucks. Like I think you like the did you like the combat? You like the combat,
I,
right?
I I really like the battle system. So like I did all of the like simulator challenges. I made sure to do those. There was the part at the Gold Saucer, like one of the like 6 mini games is literally just combat challenges, and I did all of them because I actually do enjoy the gameplay of this. But it's whenever we're not doing that, whenever we're doing like frog battles or fucking
Dude,
follow the dog, it's like stop. I don't want this.
it's it's such a like everything was such a slog, and even when I was blitzing, like at the I think after like leading up to the Golden Saucer, I think right when I got to around the Golden Saucer, I was like, I think that was when I said I couldn't do this anymore. And even when I was blitzing, like I skipped everything. I was even to the point I was like, I can't do this anymore. This game just doesn't respect my time, and I'd rather go play something else. The fact that I think I want to say this, I played. Hold on, I went back and beat during this time. You think about it, guys. I went back and played a fucking PS1 game.
Legend of
Like
Dragoon.
yeah, when I beat Legends of Dragoon, I had started Baldur's Gate kind of. I beat Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I beat Space Marine 2. I'm like I started Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Yes.
I played all these games and I was like, man, it took me all those games to finally then beat Final Fantasy 7. This just wasn't it for me.
It was
And
too much.
it was
It
the
was just too
big
much game.
it's too much game. It's too much. It's not even also that it's too much game. It's too much of the same bullshit. It's too
Going
much of the same running around. It's honestly Ubisoft.
I was just gonna say this is lit. You guys are now echoing what we were talking about earlier at the beginning of the
Yes.
show, like when we were talking about these games getting too big, and then Square Enix comes out and is like, "Hey, this game was horribly under our sales not horribly, but was like didn't meet our sales expectations." It's like, well, you put way too much in here and spent too much money on this. Make it smaller, and guess what? It would have sold. It wasn't gonna sell less copies. Like, this was how many
No.
copies this game was going to sell. You could have put in, literally, you could have taken, based on what you guys have said, you could have taken almost a third of the content out of this game, and this game would have sold almost the same number of copies, except you would have saved a third of the budget.
Yeah, I'll say this game was kind of the nail in the coffin for like these generic open world style games for me. Like I remember I loved playing it wasn't Far Cry. It was Just Cause 3. I played 80% of that game and then I got tired of the open world.
Just Cause 3, what a game.
Yep.
I played Spider-Man last year into like March, and the same thing happened. I played 70% of it. I felt the need to do every side quest, and I burnt out and quit at 70%. And then Final Fantasy 7 happened, and I didn't quit, but I certainly burned out 70% of the way in. And you guys saw my whole Witcher saga where I was just kind of get bored and stop. And it's the same idea that like they put it in front of you, so I want to do it, but there's too much of it.
We can't act like games are built in a vacuum of like the game. Like this sounds silly, but like we can't act like gamers play only one game. I say gamers, I hate using that term, but like you can't act
gamers.
You can't live in this world anymore where it's like, oh, we're gonna put this game out. It's a single player game, and they're gonna spend all these months playing it, and they're gonna be thrilled and there's no loss here. Like, yes, you got the money for Final Fantasy from both of you guys. Tyler, are you going to buy Final Fantasy Part 3? Or are you going to wait probably until you hear about it?
I'm probably going to wait until it goes. Like, so this isn't what you probably expected. I'm probably going to wait for a sale. That's
kind of what I was getting at. When I say wait to hear about it, like the flip side of that same coin is wait for a sale.
Yeah, I'm too addicted. I'm gonna play it day one, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's why I didn't ask you, because I knew what you were gonna do.
And honestly, that's fine too, because then you know why? Because then I get to.
I can give you a correct opinion because I understand what you will or won't like about it.
Yes. Like, I really do hope that they kind of like listen to people, because I know there were still like, even though people liked it, there were still criticisms about the mini games and all that shit, right? Like, yeah, I'm hoping at the end of the day they still like listen.
Yeah, while the game was praised by critics, like we're not in the minority.
No. Of
people who said that these mini games are annoying. A lot of people said this.
Yeah, and they were like, and my biggest thing still, again, it's like it's a disrespect of my time. And yes, there were a lot of mini games in the original game, like, because there are people who said like, well, there's a lot. Those mini games, they didn't have you invest like a lot of time learning them, and it didn't take a lot of time doing them.
I mean, not for nothing.
It's like for the. Yeah.
What did we talk about 3 games ago? We talked about Titanfall 2. Yeah, that has a multiplayer that's super fun, but like the campaign for that, what took me a day? Took Friedman like a couple more hours, maybe.
Yeah, but on the flip side, I felt like I was cheated. I felt like there should have been more to it.
Sure, but how often do you feel that feeling these days? I'm kind of getting at like how often
with the RPGs I play very rarely.
Yeah, RPGs are also geared to like you're supposed to like live that.
But like, okay, so I was thinking the other day, I remember when playing Oblivion as a kid in high school, I hit 100 hours on Xbox in the Shivering Isles. That was after every DLC, every main quest, and everything. And I had done it slow. I didn't like, the internet wasn't as much of a thing back then. You had GameFAQs and that was it. Like, I thought that was insane that I had put 100 hours into it and I had done like everything. And I was like, wow, this is so cool. I'm so immersed. Now it's like every RPG is just chasing that. And there's just so much stuff. It's like every game has to have the fetch quest and every game has to have here's the collectible. And it's like,
you know, it's not, I mean, yes, like that's exactly
what RPG is like that.
The Witcher, I feel like, tries to go against that.
It sure does, and that's why we keep pushing Freeman to play it.
Like, it definitely stands apart.
I have too many long-form JRPGs that are priority 1 right now, unfortunately. I'm locked up for the rest of 2024 guaranteed on ReFantazio, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I have to play best potential game of the year for a lot of people.
the Mass Effect games aren't like that either.
No, but
Yeah.
for every one of those, like, and there's a reason those games stick with us. But how many games like Final Fantasy, like we just talked about how every Ubisoft game feels like this, even though they're not straight up RPGs. There's a reason Assassin's Creed is less exciting. There's a reason Far Cry doesn't matter to people anymore. Like, all these games are just.
They don't age well.
And they don't last. Like I was talking about Assassin's Creed earlier. As Tyler, as much as you might disagree on whether or not Assassin's Creed 1 needs to get remade, you still remember 1 and the Brotherhood and the Ezio trilogy.
Yeah.
Like, how many people remember those middle games? Or those more recent ones? I don't fucking know. Anyway.
Because they're booty.
This is a wildly different thing.
It is a wildly different thing. Especially since I finished... We got through season 1 and 2.
Oh,
wow.
Interview with a gay vampire. But no, Interview with the Vampire on AMC. This is weird coming from me, but
wait, so what got you to watch this show?
Dude, we had no other shows to watch. Like, we would watch Moonrune shows, but like we can't eat and read subtitles. So that's like kind of one of the reasons why we didn't continue watching any anime while like we eat food.
Yeah.
Because it's just hard. So that's like kind of the reason why we don't watch anime while doing that. Because we were watching Free Run. At least I liked Free Run. Michelle's like, oh, I'll watch Free Run if you like Free Run. I'm like, fine. Because I do. I want to continue that. I really like that show. And like all the other ones that I have on here. But we were looking desperately for another show. Like right now, like our current like potato chip show, we like to call it. We're watching Lucifer and Supernatural.
Shit. Lucifer?
Was Lucifer.
Val and I used to be into Lucifer a long time ago.
Lucifer's pretty funny, but like it's not like a show that like we were really like it's the first time I'm watching this show, but we watch it for like purely like we have nothing else to do. So like let's just watch a show, let's just watch an entertaining thing. And Supernatural, because I mean I don't have to elaborate on that, but we're past season 5, but she's curious. So I'm like, all right, I guess we're doing this. But she was going online. Actually, I have to make sure before I continue. You guys still hear me, right? Like my Fisher-Price internet.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. She was online, and then someone was like, "Yo, Interview with the Vampire is like the best show that nobody's watching right now." And she's like, "You know what? Like, it's kind of up our alley. We have both like supernatural stuff. Let's give it a try, right?" And we really like the first episode. We're like, yo, is this a show? And then next thing you know, like, we finished both seasons.
Dang.
Tim, I'm trying so hard to get Val to watch this show.
I don't know why she isn't.
I don't know why she isn't either. I'm legitimately bothered that she's not watching this show, actually.
Do you think you're meaning it when you're completely serious?
I don't know. I was telling her, I was like, dude, I'm not So I asked her, right? Because after halfway through the show, so I am going to watch the movies. This is how much I liked the show that I'm going to watch the movies.
Wow.
Dang.
And I never even considered watching the movie. And you know why? They kind of tie the movies, or at least the original Interview with the Vampire, into this show. They essentially kind of retcon it, and they're like, I'll say this right off the get, like, from the first episode, they're like, yeah, like, remember that thing that we did way back when? Yeah, that's not the real account of what happened. I'm here to set the record straight and tell you exactly how it went down.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, considering, there are some race swaps, but, and then the third season we learned is supposed to be kind of like a redo of Queen of the Damned, which is the sequel. Well, Tim knows this because he's watched these movies. No, you haven't. You rated it on Letterboxd.
What? I did?
Yeah, you rated both of these movies on Letterboxd.
Oh, I don't fucking remember.
I'll say Tim was trying to hide it, and I
Damn.
just called his ass out like, to the entire world.
Dude, I don't know. I don't remember. Val and I have watched a. Did I really? Huh.
You sure did. In fact, I think you're the only
Un-invested.
person to have a review of both movies out of my friends. Regardless, I asked Val about it. I was like, "How do you feel about these movies?" And she's like, "They are dated, but I love them, basically." And I was like, "Okay, well, if that's how you feel, then you need to watch this show."
Man, when
Like,
did
this
Val
is,
and I watch this movie?
I don't know, right? You rated it, right?
I did. You know.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I kind of recognize this now. This was dumb. But if you're
Yeah.
liking the show, yeah, you'll probably like these. I actually rated Interview with a Vampire lower than Queen of the Damned.
That's wild. I hear a lot of people did not like Queen of the Dam, but
Dude, I
Alya's
don't
in
fucking
it
remember.
and she's fine, so like I'll take it. But anyway, it's a really like I would even recommend it to you guys. I think it's a fantastic
Wow.
show.
Really?
Yeah, it's like it's high up there. I didn't think
Huh.
and like this is like yes, I'll say this, I was starved for shows because there's a lot of things that or like because we were talking about like nothing good is coming out except for Silo and Arcane, and that's not coming out until November. And we've been like wanting a show that we've been wanting to watch for so long that was just really good, and we haven't had one. And this was that show.
Huh.
Yeah, so if people are into supernatural stuff at all, like I highly recommend it. The first season's on Netflix. Like go for it. And then what we did was we got like a 7-day trial of AMC Plus and we binged that. Yeah.
Classic.
Dude, it's really good. It's really good. Like you guys know I don't like well when I say I gush about a lot of shit on here, but like no, I don't really say like if something's like a must see, but this is a must see.
Really?
Yeah, this is a must see.
All right, I'll keep it in my back pocket for live action stuff to watch with my other watch.
Yeah, with your other yeah, this is one I would say like is a good recommend. Because I even think like this is something that I could probably even recommend to my parents.
Really?
Yeah. But see, you got to be careful though, because listen, if you see they left out the one important word, the gay vampire. It's really Interview with the Gay Vampire. Like it's really gay, and so
Gotcha.
you have to, there are some people out there that are like not like I'll tell you for example, I had a coworker where I was like, yo, you should watch this movie, even though it was an objectively good movie. And it won Oscars. Oh yeah, was it a Moonlight? If you guys have ever like heard of that movie, it like won an Oscar that year. It came out. But it was about this dude who's gay who's finding himself, right? And I was like, yo, this is a good movie. I think it has everything that you'd want it. And then she looks into it and she's like, no, I'm not watching it because it has gay people in it. I'm like, well, that's your loss then. What is this? What is the? Oh yeah, I've heard
Wild
good
Robot.
things about the Wild Robot.
So I got tricked into watching this before the F1 race on Sunday. This is the new DreamWorks movie, and I think it's the last one they're releasing before Shrek 5 happens. But I watched it on Sunday. I really enjoyed it. I described it as like the team saw Spider-Verse and said, "Okay, it's time to stop pretending to be Pixar and time to start being artsy." And they came with this cool like watercolor blend style of doing CG that ended up looking really cool. So from a visual standpoint, I really loved it. And the way that this movie was written, it's very much a parent raising child style story. So you have from the kid's perspective, it's very much everything you'd expect from a kid's movie, but it's got so much about being a parent in this movie that it's got a lot for adults to enjoy. So it's the best kind of kids movie. So overall, I think I gave it like 4.5 stars. Like this was a very good animated movie.
Wow.
And I think every family, if you need something to show your kids, go bring them to see this movie. This is very good.
You saw it in theater, or did you?
No. It was apparently already available for sale on the Google Play Store. So
Oh damn.
My friend loved it enough that she bought it on the Play Store, so we watched it that way.
Yeah, Leslie wanted to watch it, and I wanted to watch it, and I was trying to get Leslie to watch it, and then she said, no, her and Dave are going to watch it, so I'm going to have to trick Val into watching it.
I would hardly say trick. Val's going to love this movie.
Oh, that's even... I'll be sure to mention that when I try to get
Listen,
her to watch it.
I've been trying to tell Val something. She loves vampires and gays, and there's gay vampires. She still ain't watching an Interview with a Vampire. This is crazy.
What other buzzword could we throw on here to make her want to watch this? Does it take place on Halloween?
Right? Does it take place on Halloween? Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
All right, let's move on. We're almost done here.
Oh, right. My two things real quick. So I was flying for work last week all the way to San Diego. And I was like, you know what? United has Fall Guy. I've been meaning to watch Fall Guy ever since it was out of theaters in like 5 seconds. Honestly, I'm kind of glad I didn't go see this in theaters. I felt really mixed about this. I don't know if you guys read my Letterboxd review.
I did. I was like, damn. I thought you would like it.
I know. I on paper this seems like the kind of thing I would enjoy, but like I don't know. This felt kind of like trying too hard. Like the whole like everything just goes really like from scene to scene. It doesn't feel. Is it weird to say that, like, you know, I love things that kind of try to do their own thing and embrace being their own thing, whereas this feels like, oh, we're totally doing like a real movie thing, but also we're gonna act totally unrealistic the whole time.
Well, yeah, I thought that was the point, though.
Yeah,
it is the point, but it's clashing for it. To me, it felt like it was clashing. Like sometimes it would be like, oh, this is just trying to be funny, but then they would also switch to like super realism, and then or they'd be like.
Now I need source because
okay,
I didn't take this movie seriously.
I didn't take it seriously, but like it felt like they were very much trying to be like, we love movies so much. We love the people who make movies. We love what movies are, but also let's do some really goofy shit. Like them referencing like really serious movies, like talk about like Godfather quotes and stuff like that, but then they all are like, okay. The epitome of this for me is the whole split screen discussion. That scene went on way too long for me.
Damn, I'm surprised you cherry picked that part.
Tyler, cherry pick it was over 5 minutes of the runtime continuously. It was in its entire section of the movie by itself. It was literally just them going, what do you think of split screens? I think they're kind of cool. I think they're a little overdone. And then they're just doing a split screen the whole time. And it felt...
that's the point.
Yeah, but Tyler... the joke didn't need to be 5 minutes. And then they start talking about the script of the love story that they are doing. I don't know. To me, it felt like the movie was trying way too hard and was like hitting things on the nose way too often. I did really enjoy the climax of this movie. The final scene where everything comes together, where they're doing all the stunt guy shit, like that whole final thing where they trick him into shooting the scene and like saying what he's gonna say, like that whole bit was awesome. I loved that.
Whoa. I'm surprised because to me that was the weakest part of the entire movie.
No, I thought that was fun. I thought that was a lot of fun with all the different moving parts, all the different things going off at the same time. It felt like a movie set kind of thing. It felt like it wasn't trying to throw it super directly in my face about like what's going on.
But that was the point. Like I feel like all those things were the point though. Like all of it being in your face is the point. Like every single movie trope they threw in your face because that was the point.
Yeah, but it wasn't throwing the movie trope in the face. It was them going, "Yo, you know what's really funny? Movie trope. By the way, movie trope." Like
that's the movie. The movie was movie tropes. The movie,
and which is fine. But
here's this gun. Literally, here's this gun on this mantle. It will be used in Act 2. Literally,
I thought the gun was one of the best parts because they didn't say, you know, what's really funny when there's a gun that they show at the beginning of the movie and then it comes up later. No, they just did
might
it.
As well.
But no, but they didn't. But then they have all these scenes where they're like, you know, what's really interesting, split screens, or you know, what's really funny when they're doing the torture scene of the movie and they're like the hero's tied up but he gets out of it somehow. Like
Yeah,
to me,
like
there's a
those.
difference between saying
like all
something
that.
and just doing it, like, obviously. And the fact that
But
they
to
did
me, all of that
both,
was obvious, though.
I'm not. But that, and
Like
I'm
I
saying,
knew
I
that he
think
was
there's a
going to
difference.
do the Miami Vice stunt scene when he said it. I was like, all right, well, when are they gonna do it?
Sure, but he didn't go, "Ooh, I remember Miami Vice." No, he wore the jacket a whole bunch. Then they did the shot.
It's the same to me.
See, to me, it's totally not. It's when you say things out loud versus just doing the thing. It's totally different for me. So
Yeah, I guess I also went into that movie like not really expect like
see, and that's the flip.
not expecting.
That's the flip. I expected more because you and other people saw it and said, "Tim, I think you'd really like this movie." So I went in
Maybe
wanting
we
to like
overhyped it then.
I didn't
Or
hate
maybe
it.
you just don't like movies, you know? I
Okay.
understand.
Well,
I still don't watch
you know what I love?
No, I understand.
You know
If
what
you
I
don't like
loved?
it, you don't like it.
So when I was on the plane going to San Diego, I was like, "Oh shit, this is like over 5 hours. What else does United have on here?" And I saw they had Dune Part 1 and 2. So I was like, "Okay, when I fly back home, I am going to immediately turn on Dune 1 and do a Dune 1 and 2 in a row watch." Because I don't know when I'm going to get to do that again other than on a long fucking airplane ride. And it was fucking great. I know I loved both of these movies and I've talked about both on the podcast, but honestly, the experience of doing back-to-back, as much as when we talked about it before, like when we reviewed 2, I remember saying they are different movies, and they are, but they flow together almost seamlessly if you watch them back-to-back. Like,
literally, the second one opens with the closing scene of the first one. So
No,
it's
I
like
know.
there's
Yeah,
no...
I was gonna say it's not much of a
No, but like there's it's almost like Lord of the Rings being special in that like the characters never like there's no age up. There's no like Harry Potter where the next movie comes out and everyone looks 10 years older even though they're only a year older. Like it, and the we talked about like the themes being different where like the first movie is about like getting, you know, the Atreides losing everything, and then 2 is when it really picks up. But the 2 movies together does really feel like this one very continuous plot, and I know it is, but it doesn't feel like it's an Act 1, Act 2 kind of thing. It feels more gradual when you watch them next to each other. Even though both movies stand on their own, it doesn't feel like here's one thing and it's done, and then it's a totally different feel to this movie. Like, no, movie 2 starts, and even the feel of the movie is being picked up, not just the exact moment. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at. Like, I didn't feel like, oh, I've clearly can tell this movie came out 2 years later. If you edited them together, it would just go, and you wouldn't be like, whoa, this is very jarring thematically. Like, I feel like I'm in a different plot.
Yeah.
Like, it really does feel like 2 halves of a whole, more than I thought it did when I watched just 2 in theaters, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Well, now I'm trying to remember. Is the name of the movie Dune 2 or Dune Part 2?
Part 2.
Yeah,
All right, well, then it very much fits the concept of a part 2.
It does,
rather than a sequel.
but that's kind of what I'm getting at, is like that's part of why I wanted to do this, because when we talked about Dune Part 2, I was like, this feels like 2 separate movies that are connected by a plot, but they feel separate. And I can now say, having watched literally one immediately into the other, it's less pronounced than I had thought it was. And these are still fantastic movies if you watch one or both together. Like one of them or the other or both together.
I will say it's funny. It's funny though that you watch Dune 2 on a plane, because my dad did, and I asked him, like, "Oh, is this your time to rewatch?" He's like, "No, this is my first time watching Dune." I'm like, "Wait, you watched on the tiny plane screen?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Did you at least use your headphones?" Like, "No, I used the one the airlines gave me." I'm like, "You watched this movie incorrectly."
Oh wow,
Damn,
no, I didn't
like,
do that. Yeah, I watched.
yo, man, how to watch this movie in all the wrong ways? Like,
He still loved it though.
I would fucking hope so. They're fucking banger movies.
Yeah. All right.
All
Let's
right,
keep
I'm
going.
totally done now. I'm out of the podcast.
Tyler, the floor is yours.
I'm out of the podcast. I watched Monkey Man, that Dev Patel movie. I didn't realize that it was produced by Jordan Peele.
Oh.
So
Wait, really?
Yeah, weirdly enough, it has his like monkey paw like production studio. So I don't know. It was a fun like action movie. I think the first part dragged on a little bit too long, but overall I thought it was pretty good. Like it's a good action movie. It reminded me a lot of The Raid. But I like The Raid a bit more though. I gave it half a star because a Bloody Wood track was on in the movie. So yeah, it was a little biased.
Did you know before you saw that it was going to be in the movie?
No, I had no idea. If like it was the climax of the movie, and when I heard the drums go, I was like, "Yo, they didn't put Bloody Wood in this fucking movie," and it started going off. I'm like, "Yo, holy shit, this is crazy!" It was good. It was good. I rarely find like popular songs, or I guess it's not a popular song. I don't know. At least I don't think they're Bloody Wood isn't popular here in the United States. I sound like a weird hipster by saying that, but yeah, they're like an Indian metal band. They're pretty good. They go pretty hard. They have an Indian Mike Shinoda. Um, Michelle had me watch Miss Congeniality 1 and 2.
Wowzers, 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
She really got you there.
She sure did. One was passable. The only thing I didn't like about 1 was the love story. I was like, this is one of the most forced things I have ever seen, but whatever.
Dang.
Yeah, like I could deal with the rest of it, but then 2, I didn't understand 2 because at the end of the first one, some shit happens. And then it's like, oh, well, she's not coming back from this, and they don't explain how they get back, like how she gets back to her position in 2. I'm trying to be vague for people who haven't seen this like almost 25-year-old movie, so
I'll be a stand-in for this member of the audience because I haven't seen this movie.
that's fine. I honestly don't recommend it. If you like quirky early 2000s movies, then like that's fine. Oh, speaking of which, this is the bonus movie. Uh, I didn't really watch it. I watched it in pieces, but my friends were watching Euro Trip the other day.
Oh my god, Euro Trip.
Fucking Euro Trip. I was like, this movie is stupid. And it was like so misogynistic. I was like, you can't make a movie like this nowadays. Holy fuck. Like they were just having girls take their tops off just to take their tops off. I'm like, yeah, this would not survive.
So hold on, there was a movie like this like 2 years ago. I'm trying to remember what the name of it was. Where it felt it's like within the last 2 years it came out. It felt very much like this is trying to be what American Pie was, and it just bombed.
Probably why I don't know about it, I guess.
Crap. I will find this movie.
While you're finding that movie, because it's been a while since we did the podcast, I was watching a bunch of like videos because like, you know, I guess it happened October 2nd, but it's like just past the 20th anniversary of the events that inspired Black Hawk Down. Which I didn't realize. Badass mission name. It was called Operation Gothic Serpent.
Whoa.
Right? Isn't that pretty fucking metal? I mean, what happened was not metal. That was not cool. It was pretty bad. But man, the movie was really good. At least. So I was like, you know what? Why not? I'll like, cause I was watching all this other stuff. So I was like, you know, I'll watch the movie, and I forgot like how good this movie was. Highly recommend it if you haven't watched it. Tim, you've seen it, right?
I don't know if I ever actually did.
Damn, bro. This is a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I watched the X Trilogy. It's this like, cause I've watched and been trying to watch more spoopy movies this month. So I watched a few other like scary movies, but I'm not gonna mention. Like I watched Hellraiser for the first time. It was okay. but I mostly watched the X movies, and they're all just okay. How do I explain them?
Oh, I
Yeah, they're
found it.
just.
The movie was Anyone But You,
Oh, I don't know that movie.
but I don't think it was. Yeah, no, it was rated R just for topless scenes.
Anything but this movie.
I don't know. It's Sydney Sweeney.
Oh, excuse me?
Yeah, there you go. That's the appeal.
God damn. Dude, she's hot right now. She's like in everything.
For real. Oh,
I
she's
even
starting
think
against
she's
Glenn Powell, who's also in a lot of stuff now.
Oh, true. There's a movie. There's a movie coming out with her and Ana de Armas, and I'm like, damn.
Oh yeah, the movie's
They're
gonna
really
be,
trying to get the male audience for this one.
trying to get the male gazing on this movie in the theaters.
For real. Yo, speaking of which, for Ana de Armas, real quick, did you guys see? Because this came out like I think within the last couple of weeks. The ballerina trailer, the John Wick ballerina trailer.
Nope.
No,
Oh yeah, so you guys know that there was a new movie coming out, right? Like a new.
it's like in the John Wick franchise.
Yeah. And Ana de Armas is the leading talent for this movie. I mean, I want to see it because she's in it.
All right, well, Tim
she's
doesn't
fine as
watch
hell.
trailers, so I'll watch the trailer.
You can watch the
I
trailer,
watch the
but
trailer
like,
if I'm not sure if I'm gonna watch something. I'm not sure I'm gonna watch it.
I'm probably not gonna go to theaters to watch it. They already spoil what probably could have been a really good reveal, which is kind of stupid, but whatever. Here we are. I won't spoil it for Freeman because he's watching it. But I'll talk about the last movie, and the only reason why I'm bringing up this movie is because Tim brought it up, and he asked if I was gonna talk about it, and he seemed very excited. But I watched Doom.
Yeah.
Like the movie Doom, for those of you at home.
Featuring
Yes,
Oh, you
Dwayne
didn't
that
watch
one
the
with
LP,
Carl
is it?
Urban and The Rock.
So dumb. So dumb.
Man, this is what like. Unfortunately, like if I wish this movie wasn't so hated, because then I can't say, because you know what, I don't find this a guilty pleasure, but everybody else will say it's a hot take. And you know what, it might be a hot take. It's definitely one of the hottest movie takes I have. But man, I like this movie.
That's fine.
Man, it's
I thought this shit
probably
was
not
cool as
fine.
hell when I was a kid.
Well, yeah, when we were kids, it's like, yo, this movie's fucking cool. This is awesome.
Yeah,
They're
what's
shooting
wrong with
aliens
that?
and shit. I
Oh
don't
my
know.
god,
Well,
dude,
you
that
have to-
first person
you have to-
sequence where he fights a Hell Knight was always badass. Or fighting against Pinky when he's rolling around on his little
Yes.
wheelchair thing.
The
and he
first
cuts
person
him up.
scene, dude, I'll never forget. Like, because I went to see that in theater,
Yup.
and seeing that first person scene in theater
Yup.
was one of the actual coolest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, don't take shame, dude. That's fine.
I take mild shame.
Why, dude? That shit was
I don't
so
know.
cool. There was
I
nothing
mean-
like that when that happened.
You know what, I'll say that. Yeah, they didn't do anything like that until like Hardcore Henry or
Yup.
something like that came
Which
out.
was that
Yeah,
meme
true.
of a movie where it's just we put a GoPro on a guy and did action movie shit.
Yeah, pretty
Nah,
much.
dude, Doom did it for. I'm sure there's some dumb indie thing that someone's be like, blah, 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 but no, the like, fucking Doom doing this like, as a fan of the first person shooter. This was at when Doom 3 was coming out, like, or had come out. Like,
Yeah.
man, this was so fucking cool to see a guy on screen. Like, it was literally like watching a Let's Play before Let's Plays existed. Like, it was so cool.
Yeah, I can't have too much shame because I have it marked as liked on Letterboxd.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Man, movie's bad, and I don't recommend it.
Dude,
but
I gave it a
like that
2.5
movie.
stars and a like. You gave it a 3 star and a like. There's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with that.
I gave it a
dude.
3. If you saw my review, it's like, yo, this doesn't deserve the high rating I gave.
Yeah.
Dang.
The 3 star, it does not. But God damn it.
Dude, when fucking Sarge picks up the gun and he just calls it the the big fucking gun, like, god damn, dude.
Gun. Dude, The Rock has like some of the dumbest lines. Semper Fi, motherfucker.
Yeah, dude, that's from this movie. It's great. Fucking banger.
Who wrote this for him? Like, why? Like, why?
Dude, also, okay, top review on Letterboxd. His condition is irreversible because his condition is that he's dead.
Dude, I was cracking up when he said that line. I was like, I can't. I fucking can't, bro.
Dude, that's amazing. What a line.
Oh,
man.
That's funny. That's real funny.
We'll kill them all. Let God sort them. Like, come
Let
on,
God
dude.
sort 'em out.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with this stupid shit being great.
Nothing wrong with this movie. Oh God. Oh man. Yeah, you know what? It's on the level of it's the Denis Villeneuve like level directing.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I told Michelle, I was like, yo, Denis Villeneuve is probably, no joke, is probably my favorite director.
Yeah, he's hitting pretty high marks lately.
Lately
For his career.
This dude, he makes nothing but bangers.
I don't know, Tyler. I thought you didn't like Blade Runner 2049.
No, I did. I like Blade Runner 2049. I didn't like original Blade.
Oh.
Yeah, so for context, I liked Blade Runner 2049. Did not like Blade Runner original, but I do like Blade Runner original because Ridley Scott like fucks with that
aesthetic,
like photography shit. Like,
yeah, the movie looks beautiful.
Design.
I just can't stand the story and messaging.
Yeah, but like I liked Arrival. You know, I love Sicario. I thought Enemy was okay. I thought Prisoners was a banger. And I didn't watch any of his other stuff because it's all foreign stuff before that. But like,
wow, Prisoners 2013, Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. What?
Yeah, dude, that had a pretty good cast to it. But that was a good movie. Yeah, Terrence Howard's in it.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, that's a pretty good movie.
All right, let's stop the podcast.
Yeah, we can stop. We went on for
an hour and 10 minutes just of watched and played.
Man, I'm really glad you wrote down all the timestamps for what we watched and played, right, Tim?
I will never do that. I conceded to listing them in the description. That's all I'll do.
All right, fine.
We are not going that hard. We just need to talk less.
This is also true.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We're going to end it there. Hopefully it's not a month before the next podcast. We'll be back shortly after Halloween is the plan. Maybe next time no news will have happened. We're not having a new anime season, and there's probably going to be way less news in only 2 weeks. So
I'm not going to pick up any new video games in that time frame.
Yeah, true too. All right, but until next time, my name is Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
Just Tyler.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening.